What is good? What is good, y'all? Mikey T, the movie star. We're back live Sunday night. Sunday night, right? Yep, Sunday night heat, baby. Let me just get my
Mikey T,
sound.
the movie star. We're back live Sunday night.
Sunday night heat, baby. You already know what it is. Mikey T is back on. Got a couple different topics to speak on. Young Thug, he's under the pressure right now. Young Thug is under pressure. He's under all that pressure that comes with a rapper when he gets hemmed up in a situation like this. We've seen Casanova put through it. We've seen AR Rab put through it. We saw what happened with 6ix9ine when 6ix9ine got put to the test. So that's why it's a little bit different when it comes to Thug. Many out there predicted that 6ix9ine would rap. You know what I mean? Nobody was really all that shocked when 6ix9ine turned on the Treyway team, and turned on all of his associates like Mel and Shoddy, even though how close they were, he still turned on them. You know what I mean? Even afterwards, we see, Hassan Campbell and 6ix9ine arguing about Ish, different shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Arguing about the fact that 6ix9ine won't take care of any of the family, won't take care of any of the children who otherwise would be taken care of at this point in time if 6ix9ine hadn't got caught up in all this. You know what I'm saying? If he hadn't done all the videos that pretty much got him wrapped up in this situation. One of those videos, most notably being the joint that he did going against Chief Keef that was filmed on TMZ. You know what I mean? All that shit that was going on, man. But let's get into the topics. We'll get into them shortly, man, because Young Thug is kind of in a position right now. Gunna's in a position right now, you guys. We're going to have to wait and see how all of this plays out. We're really going to have to wait and see how all of this plays out. Akademiks actually spoke on it as well. Another topic, though, is Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs, you guys. Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs, we know this has been going on for quite some time after Benny the Butcher was featured on Fred's album, the Alfredo album. Benny was actually featured on there. That album moved about 30,000 copies first week. Sold about 30,000 copies first week. What up, what up, what up, Chopper City? What's popping? Would you appreciate you for tapping in? Appreciate everybody for sharing this video. Y'all, it's all love, man. Definitely appreciate everybody that taps in and shares this video with friends on whether it's on Twitter or if you share it on Facebook or if you share it on your Instagram story. Wherever you share it, you guys, I'm definitely appreciative to everybody getting the word out. Everybody, what's going on? Truth Hurts TV. My guy Louis Peasy's in the building. We're gonna tap in on Akademiks speaking on this. Akademiks had some shit to say. Akademiks had some stuff to say about the wiretaps, There we go. We're looking Gucci. What's going on with your Truth Hurts? Appreciate you for tapping in. We're going to touch on all this alleged shit going on with Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs, too. That's going to be one of the topics for the night as well. Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs worked together, shows together, actually appeared on singles together. You know what I mean? So we're definitely going to address that. Darrell says, I want to hear about the chain. A lot of rumors going on right now about Freddie Gibbs, you guys. A lot of rumors going on right now about Freddie Gibbs. It does look like Freddie Gibbs actually made the performance. I was looking at Freddie Gibbs' Instagram page, and Freddie Gibbs actually has been posting for the last few days. You know, I noticed that his Twitter page had been posting quite frequently on both the 13th and the 14th. So he has been posting nothing in regard to an altercation that allegedly happened in upstate New York. You know what I mean? Nothing in regard to the altercation that allegedly happened up there, but he has been posting. What's going on? What's going on? South DC is in the building. South DC is in the building. Major respect to everybody for tapping in. Let me see. Does Young Thug, Schizo says, does Young Thug got bail or no? At this present time, there is no bail for Young Thug. They brought up a couple different reasons as to why there was no bail for Young Thug. So the whole situation with the bail, I think it really is because of the fact that they don't have everybody from the indictment wrapped up. You know, there's a lot of people actually still not wrapped up from the indictment. A lot of people are actually out there running wild. So so they can't just let Young Thug go, because if they let Young Thug go, they believe it's going to hinder the investigation. They believe if Young Thug gets out of jail that he's going to have the ability to actually set everybody off, you know what I mean, and put them in position where they will never get arrested. Let me see. So Akademiks said, reading the indictment, to be fair, they're sitting in jail because of their own actions. They were obsessed with violence. Like they were into making music. It's just like they were into making music. It seems like it's a case of Akademiks is like, I got some more details for you. I know we want to say the cops set them up, and I'm wondering how the cops got this info if it's only a record label. Ack went on. They are charging Young Thug to be the leader of YSL. They are saying he is the kingpin. They are saying he is the kingpin, you guys. They're pretty much putting that on Young Thug at this point. Yep. Truth hurts. Flight risk, but also, flight risk. Flight risk for anybody else involved in the case. You know, like we just heard Tony Yayo speaking on it. Yayo actually had his brothers, you know what I mean? His brother who looked like him, he actually had his brother's passport. You know what I mean? He legitimately had his brother's passport, and he was going all over South America. He was traveling all over the country. You know what I mean? He was traveling all over the country with somebody's passport who just pretty much looked like him. So Young Thug, in the prosecutor's eyes, Young Thug is being looked at as though he could do all this type of shit to hinder the investigation. Appreciate you, Daryl. Major salute. Major salute to Connecticut. That's my home state. Let me get back into this here. So Akademiks went on. He said they are charging Young Thug to be the leader of YSL. They are saying he is the kingpin. He is financially covering some things. Young Thug has been caught up on wiretaps since 2015. This is what the prosecutors said they heard. They said that on January 25th, 2015, Jeffrey Williams and a guy named and Kylie engaged in a conversation, and it stated that sacrifices must be made. Soldiers must fall for the battle to be won. Now, Ack was like, they're saying that these are two leaders having a conversation, being like, get down or lay down. You know, it doesn't take a genius to figure out why the feds would say that this is the leader. Now they have Jeffrey and somebody named Huey, or it was Chewy. I couldn't really understand what Akademiks were saying. They were discussing a vehicle that got stolen and he better take it back. All this type of stuff without context. It might just be tongue in cheek. Like when Young Thug is saying on the phone, soldiers must fall for for the battle to be won. You know what I mean? It sounds like he's just saying some shit that he heard in one of those war games. You know what I mean? One of them Tom Clancy Rainbow Six type games or some shit. You know what I mean? Thug be at home probably gaming all the time, with all them different kids online and shit. And he's like, some must fall for the battle to be won. Some type of shit like that. And the police are just really reading into it in another type of way. You know what I mean? They're really just reading into it too much. So Ack continued on. He says, it doesn't take a genius to figure out why the feds would say this is the leader. Now they have Jeffrey and some other guy on the phone, and they were discussing a vehicle that got stolen and how he better take it back. All this type of stuff without context, it might be tongue-in-cheek, Akademiks says. Clearly, if it was a vehicle theft. Ack went on, they have another situation where they say Young Thug was on the phone, where he said, YSL rule the world. 24 million on a dude head. Y'all should start bringing me the money. That's another instance of Young Thug being the boss in these private conversations or continuing the conspiracy. Young Thug is getting caught up in all these conversations where he's saying all this subjective stuff. He's saying all this legitimately questionable stuff. It's like, bro, like what type of organization are you running here? You know what I mean? He said some pretty crazy shit about this vehicle. I think we're going to get into it. Axe said another conversation, a group FaceTime, text messages. They're saying 4 to 5 other people on Jeffrey Williams. We're all having a conversation. And Young Thug asked them all, y'all ain't beat them up? Y'all ain't beat them up or shoot them yet? Y'all getting soft. Pretty much it's caught on the phone, caught on the DMs, caught on the jail phone, caught in the lyrics. They're going through these messages and they've got a lot of stuff, you guys. They've got all these different things of Young Thug telling people how to run their organization and being like, yo, y'all didn't handle that yet? Y'all are getting soft because of the fact that you didn't handle that yet. You know what I mean? Young Thug has gotten in such a position, you know what I mean, that they're just trying to paint him like this, you guys. They're trying to paint him in the position of that Kingpin, as Akademiks said. You know what I mean? They're just making every one of his words seem like so much more than it actually is. Anybody is going to say that to the, like, you what? You letting those guys still run over you? You didn't show them who the man is yet? But now, because of where we are, these words just mean so much more. Jennifer's in the building tonight. He even says he is the general. Peter, what's going on? Peter Mob in the building. I'm in the building. Mikey T, what up, homie? I appreciate you for tapping in, G's. New London's in the building. What up, Daryl? Appreciate you for tapping in. Everybody share this video. Jennifer says Thug was reckless on the phone. Reckless on the phone. Reckless in his lyrics. You know what I mean? Because at this point, there's a microscope over everything that he's ever done. I mean, they're bringing up old lyrics, you guys, where Thug was rapping about Elmo or something like that. You know what I mean? All the connotations behind the color red. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to really put a microscope on all of that to really trying to drill down hard. And what they're attempting to prove is that YSL was actually becoming another branch off. That Young Thug was actually creating something so crazy out there. You know what I mean? But and when people get charged like this, you guys, it usually does mean a lot of years. It means a whole lot of years that they're facing. Now, Thug has not been able to get any type of bail, although he's had 2 court appearances and his lawyers were asking at both of them. So Axe said another conversation. No, excuse me. Axe said, I'm still flabbergasted that these guys were up tens of millions of dollars, but we're out here playing the same cops and robbers. GTA. Like just back in the day. You know what I mean? Back in the day, how you would play with your friends and shit like that. But they're taking it serious. which tells you they couldn't have valued their freedom. Akademiks said, "We will see what happens. Hopefully, Young Thug does get out, and hopefully, this is a big misunderstanding." Wow. Crazy, crazy words from Akademiks right there into this whole case. I definitely appreciate everybody tapping in. Raw God, appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Everybody share this video. Let's go. Wack 100 also commented on this. Wack 100 pretty much said, Thug is under pressure right now. Wack 100 just said, they just let a few go. And all that is designed for is holding him on his next bond hearing. Now, it's right there, you guys. You know what I mean? It's right there in the first sentence that Wack 100 said. You know, they let a few people go, meaning they more than likely did not seek them as heavily as they could have. They weren't out there seeking a lot of these guys as heavily as they could have. Why? Because if they don't have all of them, even if it's a couple of the dudes out there who, or you know what I mean, dudes out there that don't really have the worst charges in the indictment, they let them run free so they can use it as a ploy to keep the main names that they want incarcerated. And unfortunately, you guys, unfortunately, for some odd reason, the main names they want in this case are Young Thug and Gunna. You know what I mean? They really want to take the figureheads down. They want to take down the guys who are putting others in position to actually make money. And I'm not necessarily talking in a legitimate fashion. You know what I mean? I'm not, they are trying to find a story. They're trying to write a story. They're trying to find all the pieces of the puzzle to write the story of, you know, Young Thug pretty much supplying these dudes so they could go out there and do wrong. You know, that's kind of the way that they're taking the whole situation. And they're looking to prove it now. Big up, big up. Appreciate you, Raw. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Let me get back into this because Wack 100 had some interesting things to say about this. He said they just let a few go, and all that's designed for is holding him on his next bond hearing. I told you the other day, they haven't even started pulling shit out the bag yet. They got 10 years of shit. You know, if they got phone tapped, they got 5,000 hours. They've got 5,000 hours of phone tap. They've got 5,000 hours of phone tap, you guys. All right. So, anyways, let me get back into this. I'm about to roll something up, though. Hope y'all are smoking good tonight. Hope everybody's rolling up. Hope everybody's rolling up right. Wack continued, it's going to be a moment of truth. It's going to be a moment of truth because he's always saying, all right, we're going to see what you're going to do when you're in that situation. Wack said it's going to be a moment of truth because we're going to see what Young Thug will do when he is in that situation. Wack 100 is questioning if Young Thug will snitch. I'm going to put a poll up. Do you think Young Thug will tell? I'm putting the poll up. There's going to be the poll tonight. I want to know, what does everybody in here think? Do you all think Young Thug is going to tell? Or do you think it's some bullshit? Do you think Young Thug's going to hold 10 toes down? You know what I mean? Do you think he's going to stay firm? Or do you think he's going to crumble? That's what I want to know from everybody in the chat right now. The vote is on y'all right now, guys. Well, Schizo, you got to understand, when the cops are doing an investigation that's a felony investigation, they've got up to 10 years to do that investigation. When the cops are doing a misdemeanor investigation, they've only got a year to do that. Yeah, when they're doing a felony investigation, they can take that shit back for multiple years. And that's why Young Thug is tripping, because Young Thug has an open case, a serious open case, a felony open case, you guys. And it never went away. But Thug, for some reason, was thinking it was sweet because he has some of his partners on body cam. Some of his partners are actually on body cam saying, "Oh, this is mine. This is mine. This has nothing to do with Young Thug. This has nothing to do with Young Thug." Okay, that's cool. You can confess all you want. You can confess all you want to being in possession of what they believe to be Young Thugs. That doesn't mean, that doesn't always mean the prosecutor or the whoever it is going to be agreeing with you. And that's why they have not finished these charges against Young Thug to this date, you guys. Young Thug's felony case for a real illicit substance that I care not to mention, because I find it absolutely ridiculous that Young Thug is even around that shit. You know, it's just kind of foreign to me that Young Thug would be around some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And Young Thug has had this charge sitting open, and he thought it was sweet. He thought it was sweet, you guys. Okay, I got an open felony charge. They're not doing anything. That means they can come and grab you at any point. You needed to get your lawyers to wrap that shit up. You know what I mean? Like, you really needed to get your lawyers to wrap that shit up. Young Thug sat, you guys, with for 4 years with an open felony case, and he thought it was sweet. You know what I mean? That's why these dudes, that's why you never know what's going on with these people in the industry. They always hide shit from the fans. They always hide shit from people watching, so we really never know the struggles that they're going through and shit like that. It's stuff that they actually don't want to talk about. And yeah, cuz I'm not even going to mention some of the shit that he was caught with. I find it to be embarrassing. I find it to be absolutely embarrassing. You know, you look Free Thug though. What up? What up? What up with the Codeine Queen? Okay, she got the face. She's got the ski mask on and everything. But yeah, free Young Thug. It really sucks the situation that he got caught up in. Akademiks actually spoke on it. I'm gonna go over what Akademiks said since we just got a bunch of people in the room. I'm gonna need y'all to share this video as well. Everybody share this video, man. I am your host, Mikey T, the movie star. So Akademiks said, after reading the indictment, to be fair, they're sitting in jail because of their own actions, Akademiks says. They were obsessed with violence, just like they were into making music. Proving how real they were to make the music seem cooler is what it seemed like to me. Artists always want to embody their music. You know what I mean? They always want to be like the character that they're rapping. You know what I mean? When they got to realize you got to set apart the guy that you are from the guy that is rapping. You really got to set those two identities apart. You know what I'm saying? Because once you start getting that comfortable, once you start getting that comfortable, you're going to start making a lot of wrong judgment calls. You know what I mean? You can't just give every member of your clique $10,000. Yo, man, I got to go bust this move in Las Vegas this weekend. Meanwhile, they take the $10,000, they go down the street to their other apartment in Atlanta, and they start busting down the trap. You know what I mean? You got to take into consideration what you're doing with your money. You know what I'm saying? Look at what's going on. They got Cash App under the microscope right now. They want to know where all the money in the world is going. So if you're putting these guys on in Atlanta who don't necessarily have a music career, you're going to get the eye on you now. Super D'Angelo says, Thug seems solid, but I don't know about Gunna. Yeah, Gunna, they've been saying he's been going through a lot, man. They've been saying Gunna's been going through a lot. I heard Lil Got It just let him know about Lil Keed, my bro Clark and Mark on the Lightly Seasoned podcast. They're going to be talking about Lil Keed because their producer that they work with actually did Water for Lil Keed. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they've got to say about Lil Keed. Rest in peace, Keed, man. You know, it's a really bad situation, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in and sharing this video. I just seen a lot of blogs on the internet were saying that Keed and Gunner were really tight and shit like that. So stay tuned for that, you guys, this week. Really sucks, man. Dude was 24 years old. You know what I mean? This whole this whole situation is really tragic because when you're looking online, when you're looking online to, see the reactions to some of the people, we realize now that a lot of the people that would have been reacting are actually locked up. You know what I mean? Young Thug and Gunna, Duke, you know what I'm saying? Yak, all these dudes are actually locked up. Lionel, what's popping, man? What's popping with you, Lionel? I appreciate you for tapping in. Hell yeah, we didn't even hit the summer yet, bro. We didn't even hit the summer yet. You know how the summer's going to be, Steve. The summer's going to be hot. There's going to be a lot of music. A lot of these artists are going to be running into each other at the club. You know what I mean? Hopefully, a lot of them, if they've got issues, hopefully they can put it to the side and just move on to a profitable, area. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of these dudes that can make more money together. I mean, look, I'm going to use it as an example. Look what China Mac and AD are doing right now. Look what they're doing. They've done filmed 2 episodes now together of the Each show. They're grinding. So let's get into it here. So Axe said it seems like it's a case. I got some more details for you. I know we want to say the cops set them up. I wonder how the cops got this info if it's only a record label. Ack went on, they are charging Young Thug to be the leader of YSL. They are saying he's the kingpin. He is financially covering some things. Young Thug has been caught up on wiretap since 2015, apparently, you guys. This is what the prosecutor said that they said on January 25th, 2015. Young Thug, Jeffrey Williams, and Kylie engaged in a conversation. It started that sacrifices must be made. Soldiers must fall for the battle to be won. Now, I'm just being real. That sounds like something from Rainbow Six. You know what I mean? That just sounds like something, to be honest with you, that sounds like something from like one of these Rainbow Six video games. You know what I mean? And I know one of these modern warfare video games or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I love how they always mess shit up. You know what I mean? Thug is like, sacrifices must be made. And I know all the bloggers that talk about the Illuminati are loving that shit. You know what I mean? They're loving that shit. Sacrifices must be made. Soldiers must fall for the battle to be won. I bet you can just take that quote and put it on Google and modern warfare will pop up. You know what I mean? So come on, let's be realistic about this shit, man. Every phone conversation that you listen to, it really just can't be. You know what I mean? It's not gonna. Who the hell's gonna get on the phone talking about sacrifices must be made? Yo, man, I don't care if Mark Zuckerberg hears me on Facebook right now. I'm saying this. I've had that conversation before. You know what I mean? I've had that conversation. I think we all probably had. You know what I mean? I think we all probably had. What up, Chase Moolah? Appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Hit that like button. Share this video, you guys. Share this video. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Shit is looking wavy on my side, you guys. Shit is looking wavy over here. I don't know how it's looking over there, but it's looking wavy over here. Yo, Rob God, or Rod God, my bad, bro. Thug is a 5-star general in modern warfare. You know what I mean? He is a 4-star general in modern warfare, and that's why he's talking like that. Like, come on. Like, come on. Anybody could read that. You know what I mean? Dudes ain't on the phone. Dudes just ain't on the phone like that. You know what I'm saying? Salute my guy, Mike Shorey. Oh, it's my dude right there. When he said that, he was in a wooden cabin with a Cuban cigar. Yeah, bro. GMS Easy, I appreciate you for tapping in. What up, Anthony Walsh? What up, Lynette? Appreciate you for tapping in, everybody. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Yep, you're right, Choppa City. I did watch that new Doctor Strange movie. So Akademiks said, it seems like it's a case, and I've got some more details for you. Ak went on, he said, they are charging Young Thug to be the leader of YSL, and they are saying he is the Kingpin. He is financially covering some things. Young Thug has been caught on wiretap since 2015. This is what Akademiks was saying on his show, you guys. They're talking about some of the things he was covering financially. Like one of the things in question is a vehicle that was rented, a rented vehicle. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that are happening, as I said earlier, that are getting people tied up in conspiracy. You know what I mean? Especially when you're a part of a group and you're the only one in the group who has made it to a certain extent and you're giving out money to other parts of the group. Now, if other parts of these groups go on to pull the Buju Banton, you're going to get caught up. You know what I mean? You're going to get caught up and they're going to come back. They're going to come back to you and they're going to be like, hey, man, we're going to need you to come with us because you did X, Y, and Z. Let me just, maybe I was wrong about it. Yes. There we go. This ain't New Jack City. This ain't New Jack City. All right, so Ak went on. They are charging Young Thug to be the leader of YSL. They are saying he is the Kingpin. He is financially covering some things. Young Thug has been caught on wiretap since 2015. Like I said, they had him on this wire saying sacrifices must be made, soldiers must fall for the battle to be won. Akademiks continued. They're saying these are two leaders having a conversation, saying get down or lay down. Apparently, they wanted everybody to either be a part of one of the two cliques. It doesn't take a genius, Akademiks is saying, to figure out. It doesn't take a genius to figure out why the feds would say this is the leader. Now they have Jeffrey and somebody else that were discussing a vehicle that got stolen. And he better take it back. All this type of stuff without context. It must be tongue-in-cheek. Clearly, if it wasn't a vehicle theft. Ak went on. They have another situation where they say Young Thug was on the phone, where he said, YSL rules the world. 24 million on a dude's head. Y'all should start bringing me the money. That's another instance of Young Thug being the boss in these private conversations on continuing the conspiracy. Now, let's read into that right there. YSL ruled the world, 24 million on a dude head. Y'all should start bringing me the money. What does that even mean? Why would Young Thug say y'all should start bringing me the money? Like, that does not make sense whatsoever if what the police are trying to lay down is that there is 24 million on somebody's head, or there is Young Thug is worth 24 million and he will give you money for handling his business. If that's what they're trying to say, now somebody correct me in the chat. Somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. But they're saying that Thug says, where am I? Excuse me, I lost my spot. Y'all should start bringing me money. What sense does that make at all for Young Thug to be brought money when somebody is allegedly doing something for him? That doesn't make sense whatsoever. You know, sometimes in these paperworks and these write-ups, they just get shit wrong. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just get shit wrong. Like I was saying a little bit earlier. You know what I mean? Sometimes they misinterpret wording. You know, I was watching this movie called Molly's Game, and it was about it was about cards, and it was about how this girl was getting caught up for cheating at card games. And they were like, they had all these transcripts of people saying, "Where's Molly? Where's Molly? We got to get Molly. I need some Molly, 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 Molly." You know what I'm saying? And then Molly, the girl who was getting indicted, she was like, "Are you crazy? They're talking about Molly, the party. They're talking about Molly, the substance. They're not talking about me." You know, it just seems like they get things a little bit crossed up. Justice Av, I don't get that. Why would he be it himself if he's, you know what I mean? Okay, so you're saying he's sort of, man, get your ass out of here, bro. Don't tell me what to talk about on my channel, bro. Get your ass up out of here. Talking about Mikey, I do. Get out of here, Junior. Talking about some shit. I ain't even, people like this now, I ain't even saying your name no more. I ain't giving nobody like this no more clout. Yeah, check it out. It's called Molly's Game, actually. Let's see. Let's get back into this. Akademiks had some great shit to say here, man. Akademiks is always a character on these videos. So they were saying that these two leaders were having a conversation. And then Thug was having another conversation about a stolen vehicle. Ak went on, "Y'all should start bringing me the money." That's another instance of Young Thug being the boss in these private conversations and continuing this conspiracy. Ak said another conversation, a group FaceTime or text messages. They're saying 4 to 5 other people and Jeffrey were having a conversation. And Young Thug asked them, he's like, "Y'all ain't beat them up yet? Y'all are getting soft." Pretty much, it's caught on the phone. It's caught on the phone. It's caught on the DMs. It's caught even on a jail phone. Lyrics. They're going through messages and everything that pertains to Young Thug right now. And they got this one conversation here where apparently he's telling a group that they were soft for not engaging with these other people. You know, the people look at that like it's crazy. Damn, dude, why don't you try to get in the culture, bro? You know what I mean? Why don't you try to get in the culture? I mean, you probably got a YouTube page with 0 followers and you want to come in and try and say something about me to get a reaction. There's your reaction, and we move on. So Ak is like, "I'm still flabbergasted, just like me, just like the majority of you out there, because I was talking with my bro today, like my bro Clark's brother done brought Young Thug out to perform in Orlando. They had a whole spectacle one week. You know, they paid Young Thug, I want to say, in excess of $30,000. The dude Mark was saying that his cousins actually had paid Young Thug in excess of $15,000. And I really didn't need those examples to really know that Young Thug is out there doing his thing when it comes to shows. That's Thug's biggest market for making money when it comes to these shows. Now his record sales have started to pick up. But before the pandemic, Thug was getting the show money probably better than most of the other artists. He was getting booked like crazy. Thank you, Chris Nelson. I appreciate you, bro. Sometimes people just like to log into the YouTube just because, like, if they were to go live on YouTube, they get like 3 people watching, and they just like to hate. And some people just like to act like this is the easiest thing. Oh, Mikey, if your opinion is like that, I'm gonna go do a video like that. It's what it is. It is what it is. Choppa City says, great response, Mikey T. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I don't be dwelling, man. I don't be dwelling on a hater. If he wants to leave a comment, I might read it later. Trolls that nobody wants to talk to. I like it. Forget them. Forget them. Hell yeah. So Ack is like, I'm still flabbergasted. Ack is like, I'm still flabbergasted that these guys were up tens of millions of dollars, but we're out here playing some cops and robbers. It reminds me of when I was like 5 years old back in kindergarten, and making like Lego guns and shit. And then the girls would have a setup. You know what I mean? I would be making the Lego gun and shit. Me and my friends, I'd be like, yo, we got to make these guns out of Legos and shit. And we got to run up into the spot and get all the jewelry. I was always on that type of shit when I was younger, man. That shit was nuts. I was in like the kindergarten class doing that shit with Legos. And then the girls had like this whole setup where it was like the whole like kitchen setup. And I would be in there looking for the pearls. You know what I mean? I'd be like, we got to find these pearls, guys. And I'm talking like in kindergarten doing some crazy shit like that in school. Now, I know, bro. I know you're not that Chopper, bro. I know the other Chopper. Jennifer says the indictment is 80 something pages. I actually got a hold of that indictment. I actually got a lot of it. I was going to read it, you know what I mean? I was going to read it, to be honest with you, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to read it. I don't know if I'm going to read it in full. So Axe said that he's still flabbergasted. I'm still flabbergasted that these guys were up tens of millions of dollars, but we're out here playing some cops and robbers. And I hope there at least is a couple other people who did what I did when they were in kindergarten, and I wasn't the only one, because there must be a reason that I stayed back in kindergarten, and that was probably it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that had to be it there. Like, there is something wrong with this kid. Like, what is wrong with that kid? But anyways, so Ack is like, they were up tens of millions of dollars, but they were out here playing cops and robbers. GTA, which tells you they couldn't have valued their freedom. We will see what happens. Hopefully, Young Thug does get out. Akademiks remaining positive here. Akademiks doesn't want a guy like Young Thug to be locked up. You know what I mean? Honestly, I would have loved to have seen Young Thug actually appear. I would have liked to have seen Young Thug actually appear on, what was I thinking? What would I have wanted to see Young Thug appear on? Oh, obviously, Off the Record. I would have liked to have seen Young Thug appear on Off the Record, man. Well, Lionel, man, if I'll tell you what, if anybody wants me to read the full indictment, you guys got to send a nice little super chat, man. Send a super chat. I'll bring that shit up. I need like a $50 super chat, though, because we got some other topics to handle tonight, man. So if you guys really want me to divert to that, because there's quite a bit where it goes over the songs, the lyrics, all that shit, man. But honestly, like, share this video. If we get 200 people in here, based on that, y'all sharing this video, I'll read it as well. You know what I mean? But I got to see that there's a bit of an interest in it. The secret indictment. It's definitely not a secret indictment, Chris. You know that. It's definitely no secret. It's definitely no secret. It's pretty much it's the biggest indictment, I guess, since Young Thug, since 6ix9ine. You know, when Arab had that whole situation happen, it was kind of overshadowed. You know what I mean? It was kind of overshadowed by what happened with 6ix9ine. And then we saw what happened to YFN Lucci, you know what I mean, after his whole situation. But I'm gonna say this thing with Young Thug outweighs what's going on with YFN Lucci on a shocking factor. Yeah. Tom, yo, what up, Thomas? I appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Eric Spencer, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Everything is good. Code of the streets. I definitely appreciate you tapping in. Everybody go ahead and share this video. Share this video, y'all. Yes, sir. So let me see right here. I'm getting through Akademiks' post. He said, hopefully Young Thug does get out. You know, he wants him out. He said, we will see what happens. Hopefully Young Thug does get out. And hopefully this is a big misunderstanding. Hopefully this is a big misunderstanding, you guys. That's what Akademiks is saying. Is there a likelihood in the chat? I'm going to ask you guys. Is there a likelihood that this is a misunderstanding? Is there a likelihood that Young Thug is going to beat this thing like the Irv Gotti Murder Inc. trial, like the Gotti brothers did? You know, will this be the first time or another time, maybe the second time, I guess you could say, in recent history that we hear about the feds? This isn't the feds, you guys. Not yet. This is the state. This is the state. But it's a big case. You know what I mean? Yeah. AQ says they've been on the radar for a while. In order to get the phone taps, they have to get a warrant. Yes, I do believe that this has been going on since like 2012. And then Akademiks had said that the phone taps were going on since what, 2015, he had said. What is the flavor of the night, Greg asked. I'm blazing on some runts. I went and got an O of runts. Let me ask everybody in the chat, what's everyone smoking? Everyone smoking in here tonight. We're about to move on to Wack 100's response, you guys. We're about to get into Wack 100's response to this whole thing now. Akademiks always has some interesting stuff to say. You know what I mean? Akademiks always has some interesting stuff to say. What's going on? Let's hope. Appreciate you for tapping in. Everybody, let me know what you're blazing. Actually, I should go over these Benny the Butcher this Benny the Butcher rumor that's going on right now. Y'all have heard the Benny the Butcher rumor. I'm going to ask another chat poll question. I just want to know in general, and 63% of the people say Young Thug will not tell, by the way. I rock with y'all. We got the best live audience here on YouTube, you guys. My man, Louis Peasy, is blazing on that platinum punch. If you're smoking something good, let me know, y'all. I'm about to put up another poll. I want to know who y'all rocking with in here. Who is a better artist? And there's two choices, you guys. It's Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs. We know these two have been going through a lot of BS since they started working with one another. Freddie Gibbs and Benny the Butcher have been going through some BS since they started their relationship, with Freddie Gibbs apparently letting Benny come and perform for him or with him, open for him, whatever the case may be. Freddie actually put Benny on his Alfredo album that sold 30,000 copies first week back in 2020, a couple of years ago. Benny the Butcher's album came out this year, Tana Talk 4. A little bit of issues came up between Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs actually had a performance in Buffalo, you guys. My respect is going out to Buffalo, to everybody out there affected by the tragic events that happened in Buffalo. Man, my heart is with you. I've got friends from out in that way. Rochester. I got friends from Niagara Falls. Benny the Butcher from Buffalo. You know what I mean? Benny actually had me come to Buffalo. He let me come to his city. He showed me around. So for everybody that's been affected by what happened in Buffalo, my heart is with you guys. Just know, I know we got James Brown who be in the chat literally almost every time we're live. So I'm just letting everybody know, you know what I mean? I am sympathetic to what's going on with all of that. And I just hope that everybody that be on the channel that's from the Buffalo area knows that my heart is with y'all and everybody, period, that has been affected by that, man. It's a really sad situation, man, when anything like that happens anywhere in the country, you know? So I just want to let you know I do not ignore things like that. But yeah, Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs. I got it up as a poll right now. I want to know who y'all rocking with, man. I want to know who are you guys rocking with when it comes to being a better artist. Both of these guys have bodies of work out. Freddie Gibbs actually made his way into the game in a different way. You know, he actually came up. First of all, he was rocking with Jeezy. No, I think he had a deal before Jeezy. Wasn't he actually signed to Interscope or something like that before Jeezy? Let me see. Yep, he was signed to Interscope. Freddie Gibbs was signed to Interscope in 2006, which is major. He parlayed that. He ran over and started working with Jeezy. That didn't work out so well. And since then, he's been doing his thing. Gibbs recorded his debut solo album under the label. However, he was eventually dropped and the album was canceled. That's crazy how they just cancel albums. Just a note to Interscope, you guys better never cancel my album. You better never cancel my album when I sign to Interscope. First of all, when I sign over, I want the Dr. Dre beat. I'm going to need my Dre beat. I'm going to need my Eminem 16. Now I'm sounding like the Game. That's exactly what the Game said. I'm going to need my 50 Cent hook. I'm going to need my Chief Keef verse. And then we're on. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. I had to go check something out real quick. Definitely appreciate everybody for tapping in on this live video. I guess I forgot what I was looking for. Let's just continue on. 99 Ghosts in the building. Jennifer, hell yeah, you already know. Oh yeah, that's right. We're going to the Freddie Gibbs. We're going to the Freddie Gibbs content. Let me bring that up right here because Freddie Gibbs' situation was pretty much exposed on the internet. Freddie Gibbs' situation allegedly involved him getting his chain snatched, you guys. We had a chain snatching go on, allegedly. Freddie Gibbs has not responded to this whatsoever. Benny the Butcher has not responded to this. Obviously, with what's going on in Buffalo, I think there are more pressing matters than, dissing other rappers. Like, let's just be real about this. You know what I mean? Let's just be real about this. Right now, there's more pressing issues going on than rappers beefing. And in reality, we don't know if this really even had anything to do with Benny the Butcher. You know what I mean? In reality, I don't know if it had anything to do with Benny the Butcher. If I'm taking a guess, I'd say no. You know what I mean? I'd say no. Didn't Benny move out of Buffalo? Didn't Benny move to Atlanta? You know what I mean? Benny actually having something done to Freddie Gibbs makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. This guy tweeted it. He said, I just saw Freddie Gibbs get beat up and his chain took while I was eating in Buffalo, New York. And he tagged at Freddie Gibbs. He tagged Akademiks. He tagged World Star. Funny, I don't know if Akademiks actually posted about this because, Akademiks actually post about everything negative in regard to Freddie Gibbs. But maybe they already had their fun last month because right after Jim Jones ran into Freddie Gibbs, well, right before that, Akademiks had basically dissed the hell out of him. Then Jim Jones ran into Freddie Gibbs, and then Akademiks kind of dissed him again and left it there. So somebody asked this dude on Twitter, like, what restaurant were you at? What restaurant were you at? And the dude promptly responded. He's like, at Dinosaur Barbecue. He said Freddie Gibbs was running and his security didn't help. Freddie Gibbs' chain was snatched doing the video. Tell DJ Act to hit me up and I'll upload the video. Everybody tagged him. And the dude also said that he still performed that night wearing the poo mask. A lot of people responded to this saying, not Freddie Gibbs. SMH beat up and chain snatch. People are out their minds. Someone said at Freddie Gibbs, F you for wearing a ski mask tonight. I was going to make a Don Cheadle joke. Which I don't really get that. I don't really get that. So yeah, a lot of people are saying that there's video footage of Freddie Gibbs getting his chain snatched inside of a restaurant. This dude is saying that he's going to send the video footage to Akademiks. But I'm thinking it must be cap. You know what I mean? If he hasn't sent the video footage to Akademiks at this point. You know, I think it must be cap. Iceberg says, I heard they yapped that boy, no cap. He might be talking about Jim Jones. But if this dude, you know, is saying to Akademiks that he has footage and now Akademiks hasn't posted it, I would have to say it's probably more than likely false. Plus, another part of me does not think that Benny the Butcher would actually involve himself with something like that. But maybe I'm naive. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm naive. You know what I mean? Because I said the same thing about Young Thug. No, I don't think I'm naive. I think I'm right. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm right in these situations. I don't think Young Thug, honestly, I think Young Thug is going to beat this shit. You know, I think Thug is going to beat this shit when it's all said and done. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a lot of the other existing conditions that Casanova and Pooh Shiesty have been going through, you guys. You got to well, shit, I'm wrong. Thug has that 4-year open felony case from when he got caught after a show, he says. Okay. Dude has a case open for 4 years and he thinks it's sweet. What up, what up, what up, Chris Nelson? Appreciate you for tapping in. What up, Chesney? Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Definitely appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah, you know, what up, what up, what up? Modesto, California, 209's in the building tonight. The CEO is in the building. What's popping with you, homie? Salute, salute. Yeah, you know, I was going to say one of the major circumstances that hindered Casanova, that hindered Pooh Shiesty, was their pre-existing felony cases. You know what I'm saying? One of their pre-existing felony cases, which kind of makes me believe that's why they copped out to their charges. There was just too much for them to fight. Pooh Shiesty had to cop out to his charges in Miami because he's fighting major charges right up in Miami Gardens from the King of Diamonds situation. Casanova was going through a whole case. Casanova was going through a whole crazy ass case just over somebody video recording him. And it turned into a whole melee inside of a diner. So there's a lot of Young Thug situation seemed a little bit different to me, but now with the reveal of this case never being solved, because you know there was all the speculation of Young Thug's homie took it for him. I guess they don't want to hear that, man. They probably looked into the man's financials and they said, hey, man, you couldn't afford what was in that briefcase. There's no way you could have afforded what was in that briefcase. Just being real. Just being real. What's going on? Aisha Thomas, appreciate you for tapping in. CEO says he's got some of that fresh wedding cake. Okay. So let's get into what Wack 100 actually said about this whole. Oh, hold on one second. Let me see if there's any more. Oh, yeah. So Freddie Gibbs still performed as well. Let's put that out there. Iceberg, the vote was 63% of the people said no. Young Thug will not rat. But it looks like the chat is rocking with Benny the Butcher over Freddie Gibbs all the way. A lot of people in here are rocking with Benny the Butcher over Freddie Gibbs. But now we got to get into what Wack 100 said, you guys. Wack 100 went in on this situation. Wack 100 said Young Thug is under pressure, you guys. The pressure is on, he said. Wack said they just let a few go. All of that is designed for holding him up on his next bond hearing. I told you that the other day. So we all know when Young Thug asked for bond, one of the major concerns that the prosecution had was that everybody from the indictment had not been locked up. Everybody from the indictment was still running around. You know what I mean? Everybody, well, not everybody, but there's still a few. And in reality, if Young Thug gets out of jail right now, he's going to put the prosecution in a position where he could more than likely help everybody get out of or he can help everybody evade arrest. That's exactly what they're thinking. But Wack 100 is putting it out there that they did this by design. They just let a few go. All that's designed for is holding him on his next bond hearing, which they have denied him bond twice at this point. I told you the other day, they haven't even started pulling shit out of the bag. They got 10 years of shit. If they got his phone tapped, they've got 5,000 hours. Wack 100 said they've got 5,000 hours more than likely of phone tapped conversation. I think that's a little bit much. But shit, you remember how big Biggie's phone bills were back in the day? Puff used to be getting pissed off about Biggie's phone bills back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I could, just because phone bills aren't the same anymore as they were back in the mid 90s, I could just see it. Young Thug is probably the type that has hour-long conversations. You know what I mean? Hour-long conversations, man. And a lot of these conversations are actually probably in police custody now. Killer Demo says, Young Thug better have a few million tucked away to fight the case. Rico equals millions to defend. Yeah, I would imagine Young Thug has bread tucked away to fight the case. You know what I mean? I would imagine Young Thug has bread tucked away to fight this case, you guys. I mean, he's been doing so many shows. His lawyer actually said, whatever bail, everybody share this video, you guys. If we get 200 people in here, I'm going to bring people into the video. I'm going to let y'all tap in with y'all thoughts if we get 200 people in here tonight. So anyways, Young Thug's lawyers actually said whatever bail was set, he would make. But they also asked for a promise to appear. They are actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen to how crazy that sounds. CEO says that he's been poring over the case. Some big red flag. CEO, I was gonna read the indictment paperwork out, but I just decided not to. You know what I mean? Just because we have a few other topics. Well, yeah, I think maybe I'm kind of messing up because this is a state case. This is a state case right now involving Young Thug and all them. So yeah, but shit, I was talking about a police officer earlier, and I called him a Fed. You know what I mean? I think that's just what some people do. Yeah, it's a state RICO, not a Fed RICO. Let's not get caught up in that. You know what I mean? We're not going to get caught up in that, you guys. Jabadada, sorry if I, Jabadada Oblongata says the better artist is Gibbs, but the better MC is Benny. Just saying, by the way. Nah, I appreciate you voting in the poll, bro. Yeah, nah, CEO, we always be reading out a lot of paperwork on the channel, bro. You know what I'm saying? We always be reading a lot of paperwork out on the channel, but honestly, man, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just be real. The interest factor, the interest factor has got to be there. So we're gonna go over where the interest factor is. Yep. Black Media, Michelle Mitchell, appreciate you for tapping in. Young Thug said he is an upstanding. Young Thug said he is an upstanding citizen. He had record labels calling into the courts, and that shit didn't get him no bail. Without Judge Wolf, can't override. Yeah, I don't like to use names on the channel like that, but yeah, you're right. He had Leor Cohen there. You know what I mean? He had Leor Cohen there. Wait, I believe I saw Leor Cohen, right? All waiting to speak for him. The judge had asked if the lawyer had felt it necessary for anybody to actually speak out, but the judges were pretty firm in denying the bail. They were pretty much like, we can't let him go. They were like, the judge had no problem denying it. The lawyer even brought up the fact that if the judge did not say what he said, if the judge did not okay it, then the next judge was going to have a problem issuing bail as well, from what I understood. If he has a no bail over here with this judge, for when the other situation comes to light, if they were to give him a bail, he would still have no bail over here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the judge was trying to explain. So now he's going to have to go before the judge again. And then the judge is going to be like, well, if they gave you a bail over there and you just sat and waited another 14 days to see me, you know what, man, I'm going to give you a bail in 7 days when you return. That type of shit. You know what I mean? Or maybe he would just let him go that day. But, like the fact that he has to go over there and see him, that's just more time. That's just more time in jail. Like, look what happened with Fat Trell. You know what I mean? Look what happened with Fat Trell. So it all came out that Fat Trell got released. Fat Trell got sentenced to 3.5 years or something like that. 36 months or something like that. And he had pretty much served that amount of time. So when he went back to court, he was let out. The judge let him out. But he had another court date. For, I want to say, a DUI or something. So he went back to that court date while he was released, and then they held him. And that's why Fat Trell is currently locked up. I believe it's because of a DUI. I might be wrong. Sometimes these guys don't really like to reveal exactly what it is they're being charged with. You know what I mean? But we do know that Fat Trell is sitting up. I thought it was only going to be for another 3 months. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, AQ, do you know how long they said he had to go sit up for, bro? Was it a year, or I thought it was 6 months? 3 months, I mean. It must be a year, though, that he had to go. And I ain't really heard about someone having to sit up for a year for a DUI. I do appreciate all the engagement. Wow, Jennifer. Wow, Jennifer, though. But are you saying like, because I think it's like second DUI, you get like, I think it's like second DUI, you get like what? You get like 60 days or something like that. VA made a mandatory law. Black media, Michelle, I appreciate the engagement as well. Thank you. If you went to the court case they did, what were you could you which case were you talking about? Well, Michelle, that whole thing with Fat Trell was actually they had caught him with a bunch of pills and shit like that, and they had charged him with manufacturing and distribution, and also he was caught in a vehicle. So they charged him with a DUI as well. So, it's not necessarily just drinking anymore when it comes to DUIs. You know, what up, Nightman? Appreciate you for tapping in. When it comes to DUIs, it's not just drinking anymore. It could be if your car smells like marijuana, they're going to try to charge you with a DUI. Any type of thing like that, now they're going to charge you with a DUI. It's pretty crazy, in my opinion. Young Thug and Gunna's bail hearing. Yep. Yeah. Michelle, how many new charges did they introduce at that bail hearing? Or did they say they're going to be introduced next week and potentially another indictment? Believe it or not. Damn. Yo, DB Chef giving us some crazy knowledge about the VA system. He said, my real uncle's been down now 3 years from three DUIs in VA. That's crazy, man. VA is a crazy state. I won't lie. You know what I mean? I remember one time I was out to eat at that mall in VA, and I was out with my girl, and we pulled out from the mall, jumped on the highway. We got pulled over. They're like, "So, what have you been drinking?" What do you mean drinking? I just came from first of all, I'm driving. I'm like, I ain't drinking when I know I'm driving. I just stopped here to get some dinner. So he's like, yo, you got to fix your tail light here. Your tail light's out. I'm like, okay. He gave me a warning for it. I'm driving 30 minutes down the highway in VA, an hour, pulled over again. You got to fix your. I just got a warning from this guy. I just got a warning from this guy. Yeah, so that was kind of crazy. You know what I mean? That was kind of crazy, that experience. I don't like driving through VA, even though I do got some family out there, and I did a couple of my first video shoots out there in VA, actually. It's freaking warm as hell and nice out in Virginia. But, when you shit like that happens to you, when you get pulled over twice within an hour in a state, you really just kind of back off from it. Yup, yup, yup. It's like, really, man? You're gonna do me like that? You're gonna pull me over right after I leave the mall to be like, hey, were you drinking here at the mall at our our fine establishment where you come and you spend hundreds of dollars to go eat? All right, that's how you guys do out here. But yeah, let's get back into it. DB Chef, I appreciate you for sharing that, bro. I was wondering like what's going on out there in VA. And also thank you, my guy who AQ, I believe, pointed out that it was actually in VA where it looks like Trell is serving some time right now. I was not sure of that 100% as well. I've covered Trell when he got out of jail recently, but then he got locked back up. We covered that as well. They did do a march for him, a rally. I was not able to cover that. But as we get more news about Fat Trell, I do like to cover him on the channel. Why? Because he gave me an opportunity to interview him right after he had got signed to MMG. Couple opportunities to interview him. Him and his manager were really good and dope people. So you're gonna hear me covering him on the channel here and there. AQ 1.5 hour. Hour. 1.5 year. My bad, bro. 1 and 1. Damn. That's rough right there for Fat Trell. You know, I'm sorry, guys, that I'm taking away. I know we were talking about the Young Thug thing, but it kind of went into what I'm talking about, Fat Trell, a little bit. That's just crazy that they let Fat Trell out of jail. You know, his time was up. And he had another court date regardless in a month and a half or whatever, but they let him out of jail and then they took him right back in, you know, but I guess that's just how it goes. Yeah, Michelle, for real. Yeah, Fat Trell is dope, CEO. Fat Trell is dope. He was really, I thought, in reality, I thought Fat Trell was going to be next up from MMG. Tracy T as well. You know what I mean? Tracy T as well. That was my guy, him and Beat Billionaire, the connection right there. But I really thought that Fat Trell was going to follow in the footsteps of Meek Mill and Wale. But in reality, Pill should have never left MMG. That was a really bad move on Pill's behalf. You know, Rick Ross really hit him off with that. They had a good connection. You know, he had the single called Pac-Man and all that. He actually had his own little single. I don't think he should have broken off from them. He could have did his thing just like Meek and Wale were doing their things. Um, but yeah, let me get back to this. Let me get back to the news, man. So Wack said, they haven't even started pulling shit out of the bag yet. They got 10 years of shit. You know, if they got his phone tapped, they've got 5,000 hours. Wack continued, it's going to be the moment of truth. It is going to be the moment of truth, he said. And this is where we get into all the allegations of, is Young Thug going to tell? So Wack was like, it's going to be the moment of truth, because he's always saying, all right, we're going to see what you're going to do when you're in that situation. You tough ass rappers, them dudes cannot fold. If they fold, they're going to change the course of what rappers do and don't do. Now, right here, Wack 100 is ignoring a very specific rapper, a rapper that he's actually working with. You know what I mean? Just because one rapper snitches, like Wack 100's artist did, it does not mean that every single rapper is going to follow that wave. You know, Wack 100 is saying right now, right here, what he said. He said, if they fold, they're going to change the course of what rappers do and don't do. Now, I think Wack knows that Young Thug holds a lot more weight than 6ix9ine. You know, even though Young Thug came into the game in a questionable manner, where he kind of faked it till he made it. If he faked it till he made it, you know, to a certain extent, you know, he kind of pulled the little Nas X antics, you know what I mean, to make everybody kind of look at his post and be like, what is going on with this guy? But then they're like, you know what I mean? All that shit. Not going to say the lyrics, even though I could, because I was one of those guys who was like, what's going on with this dude? But Stoner is awesome. You know what I mean? But Danny Glover is awesome. But what? Why is he wearing that leather? Why is he wearing his Timbs like that? No, I'm just kidding. He didn't do the It's Biscuit Timbs, but you know, but he was looking crazy on the internet. He had shock value on the internet. Young Thug was getting paid tens of thousands of dollars for shows before he ever even did an interview, before he ever even had to explain himself, Young Thug was getting shows for tens of thousands of dollars. Wack 100 says, with Young Thug locked up right now, he says it's going to be the moment of truth. Because he always says, all right, we're going to see what you're going to do when you're in that situation. We're going to see now what Young Thug is going to do when he's in 6ix9ine's situation. I mean, we saw what Casanova did. You know what I mean? We saw what AR-Rab did. We see what real thorough cats in the game did. Then we see what the questionables did. The guy that, you know, like in comparison to what I was just saying about Young Thug, when 6ix9ine got into the game, you never really thought he was going to keep it all that real. You were sort of just waiting for him to snitch. You know what I mean? You were waiting for an opportunity to pop up where you were going to be like, okay, is he going to snitch now? He's going to snitch now. And 6ix9ine kept it thorough for about a day, maybe a week, because I do remember when 6ix9ine got locked up, 50 Cent was saying he was going to help him with a lawyer. I remember 50 talking about getting him in with the correct lawyer. The only way 6ix9ine would be able to have won that case is if he got his case like detached from everybody else's. If he would have had one of them 50 Cent lawyers that could have did some shit like that, been like, nah, Your Honor, this kid, like, you know, like Sue Surf was telling me, yo, man, we went to college together and shit. And do you know what they did to this kid? They were hooking up with his baby mama. You're like, oh man, I remember Jack did that to me back in Bel Air Academy. You know what I'm saying? And he remembers that he was in a similar situation like that. And he's like, I'm moving this case. If anything, they might take a plea deal. If anything, they might take a plea deal. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people in the case. You know what I mean? With a lot less in the case, we've heard people get into snitching, you know, and once people start telling, that's when time starts getting put on the table. You know what I mean? Once they've got the win, that's when time starts getting put on the table. When they start getting up all of their snitches, or what are they called? Their witnesses. When they start gathering up all their witnesses who are going to start revealing all the key details, which shit, we don't know yet. You know what I mean? We don't know what's going to happen. From what Young Thug has told all of us, the general public, they were building a water park. You know what I mean? They were building a community. I mean, look what Raulo was doing, making sure that people had a place to live. You know? What up, Jamarcus? Free Casanova, man. Casanova is going to be sentenced in December. They're going to be sentencing Casanova on December 6th. Minimum sentence, 5 years. Maximum sentence, 60 years. But let me get back into this. So Wack is like, it's going to be the moment of truth. He's like, you tough-ass rappers, them dudes cannot fold. If they fold, they're going to change the course of what rappers do and don't do. So Wack was asked, Wack was asked about this 24 million on my head. Wack was asked, what does he mean when he said to a dude, you got 24 million on my head, bring me the money? This is good. This is good. Because I wanted to actually know, because I actually wanted to know what the hell he meant by that as well. What one of the guys in the chat said about, like, I'm going to do it myself, so you might as well bring me the money. That kind of made sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because dudes, when they'll get into rants, they'll start talking in third person. You know what I mean? Like, who am I gonna pay to do this? Like, let's go back to the whole conversation that Diddy allegedly had when Diddy was like, I want you to bring them to me on a silver platter. You know what I mean? And then when you're in the middle of that, you're like, who's going to bring them to me on a silver platter for this $500,000? Who wants five? Y'all might as well bring me the money. Y'all might as well bring me $500,000 because it's going to be me who does. You know what I mean? Some type of shit like that. So, yeah, I could understand that. I can understand that being the case. You know what I mean? Where a guy just gets all riled up to the point where he's telling all of his boys, he's like, y'all are going to have to bring me the bread because I'm going to be the one out here putting in that work. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Chill out with that conversation in the chat. Don't be saying that type of shit in my chat. Cool out. Keep it PG-13 in the chat. Jesus. Even keep it R. Don't be hitting me with none of that NC-17. This ain't, you know what I mean? This ain't uncensored TV, you guys. Come on, let's have some respect for the YouTube channel. Don't be typing certain stuff, please. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look at my dude KD with an acceptable comment. He said, I would cry if the judge said 35 years. Real talk. Not a lot can take that. That is a big amount of time, KD. You know what I mean? That's a big amount of time. 35 years. You know what I mean? It's pretty much, it's a quarter of a century plus 10 years. You're pretty much done. You know what I mean? You're pretty much done in that situation. When I'm saying done, you better plan on coming home as a senior citizen. You better plan on coming home as a senior citizen and driving around with your son or your daughter. You know what I mean? They're driving you around. You're like, hey, can we go get some oatmeal? No NC-17 though. LOL, funny. What's up, King Jess? I appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Much love on the tap in. Guys, we're just going over what Wack 100 said about Young Thug. Wack 100 said they haven't even started pulling shit out of the bag yet when it comes to the bag of tricks that they're going to have to take down the YSL empire, if you could really call it that. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like Young Thug didn't really get YSL off the ground. You know what I mean? And that is a certain degree of why they're treating it like this. You know, because Young Thug hasn't really turned YSL into a sufficient, into a fluid record label. It's not really looked at as a record label. YSL is pretty much just looked at as a group. You know what I mean? It's looked at as a group. It's got no foundation as a label. The only artist they've really released is Gunna. They started having some success with Rest in Peace Lil Keed. You know what I mean? They had some success with Duke. So Wack is like, it's gonna, for everyone just tuning in, Wack is like, it's gonna be the moment of truth. It's gonna be the moment of truth. Because he always says, all right, we're gonna see. Wack is talking about Young Thug here, you guys. We gonna see what you gonna do when you're in that situation. You know the situation that Gunna's in right now? Pictures that are leaking on the internet of Gunna right now, looking like he's in a weakened state because he's been locked up for all of 36 hours. You know what I mean? God, man, Gunna looks like something's going on with him in there. But, you know, that's all just marketing and shit like that. That's what the media wants you to think Gunna is going through right now. I'm pretty sure, you know, whatever, you know, if he's missing his chronic, if he's missing his purple drink, you know, I'm pretty sure he's going to get over all that shit in the next few weeks. You know what I mean? and then he's going to come out a better man. Like, let's be 100% real. Like, let's be 100% real. Some of these guys could use to get off of that purple drink. You know what I mean? That purple drink isn't nothing that's really facilitating you. It's a facade. It's a facade. You know what I mean? The way it facilitates you in the studio and in the booth and shit like that. You do it so much that you think you need it. But let's just be 100% real when it comes to that shit. These guys could use to get a little bit cleaned up from those freaking things. When, like Akademiks says, these guys are making tens of millions of dollars. You know what I mean? These guys are in charge of our young generation. You know what I mean? There's so many children between these people that they are literally in charge of the younger generation, bringing up this next generation. They've got to influence them in the best ways. And to be sitting around and sipping from the styrofoam cup all day. I mean, we saw what happened to Kodak Black. We saw what happened to Kodak Black when he was on live and his kids were there and he was smoking and he had all the homies at the crib. They ran up in his crib. And that's why Young Thug has cleaned up his whole image. Young Thug back in the day would be sitting around with little Uzi Verts, if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? He'd be sitting around with that type of shit in his Instagram videos. When his house got raided for the first time, he cleaned up his whole image. Man, take your ass out of here. It's your buster ass YouTube name. You ain't wheeling shit, bro. Get up out of here, man. You up out of here, bro. Talking about, man, I was cleaning that shit up for Gunna. I don't come on my YouTube shit and say certain things, man. I was cleaning that up for Gunna. You know we got love for Gunna over here, man. I'm saying it's going to be do good for Gunna and Young Thug to be getting off that purple drink. I'm just being real. You know what I mean? Just being real. I even watched an interview with Lil Got where he was talking about how he was sober and shit. Yeah, lean do be having you sleepy, Michelle. It does. Like, I don't like that shit whatsoever. Like, I did it a few times, but then, like, the one time it really affected me, I was like, man, that shit ain't cool. That shit ain't cool. I'm like, that shit ain't cool. I'm more just a bud guy, or I like some champagne. You know what I mean? I keep it simple. You know what I mean? I ain't out here doing anything crazy, going to the next level with it. I don't really feel like that's something I need to do. I don't really have an appetite for all that. Like, I can't understand some of these guys, man. I can't understand some of these guys who just blow their money on that shit. And there's just stories that, we read about all the time in the hip hop industry. Yeah, I don't really blame it on anything. I don't really know what to blame it on. There's just one picture of Gunna that looks kind of grainy. You know what I mean? There's one picture of Gunna that looks kind of grainy, and people are saying all types of weird shit about it. But it's got to be uncomfortable for them in jail. I mean, the headlines are that Young Thug's lawyer was saying it was like dungeon-like conditions, which I don't really understand. You know what I mean? A dungeon-like condition, man. Like, I don't think they've got anybody locked up in a dungeon-like condition, because that means they would have to be like all like types of dirt and shit in there, and like, you know what I mean? I just don't like that's just the lawyer's doing a lot to get Young Thug some bail right now. You know what I mean? When in reality, they've got to give it a little bit of time. Chesney says Southern jails are rough. Yeah, bro, I've watched a couple of those videos about like the worst jails ever, and I see some of those jails overseas, like they can legitimately get dungeon like. KD says Alcatraz was a dungeon. Yeah. What up, young Don? Appreciate you for tapping in. Jamarcus says some holes are bad. And I actually did read that Young Thug was in protective custody or PC or he was by himself, which I think that's the best situation for Young Thug. Young Thug gets out of jail, he's going to say, "What are you talking about? I'm Young Thug. I'm not going to be around all these other people." What up, what up, what up, what it do? Seg, is that when they got you by yourself, Jennifer? Is that when they got you by yourself? But let me get back to this here. Because Wack is like, it's going to be the moment of truth. It's the moment of truth for Young Thug. How long can Young Thug stay in this situation and not crack, you guys? You know? How long, guys, in the chat, how long is Young Thug, like Casanova has been sitting up since 2020. Like, he's been sitting up since 2020. You know, we've seen him do a couple things. We've seen him complain. We've seen him dance. So we've seen him on all the different levels of it. How long will Young Thug be able to go in this situation? He said, we're going to see what you're going to do when you're in that situation, locked up. Young Thug has his lawyers talking. He's in dungeon-like conditions. We want bail. Every time they go there, they're asking for bail. Young Thug's lawyers don't mess around. They don't beat around the bush. If they did, they'd probably be fired. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well talk up while you're there. Wack 100 was like, you tough ass rappers. Them dudes cannot fold. Now, Wack has been going in on rappers folding for quite some time. You know what I mean? Wack has been talking about how it's a popularity vote. Wack said it's pretty much a popularity vote. If a guy is popular that snitched, you won't say anything. If a guy is less than popular that snitched, you will say something. I mean, you can say that all you want about 6ix9ine, but you know, 6ix9ine. I mean, you know, because there was a lot of negativity surrounding 6ix9ine before he got popular, or no, when he was popular, before he snitched. There was a lot of negativity surrounding 6ix9ine. So I think that's why he's saying that. But in all reality, man, you know, if somebody snitches, they snitched and the general public give it to them. You know what I mean? T.I. jumping on the stand, a lot of people thought what they thought about that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of situations where people even just talk to the police. They lose their whole career over it. You know what I mean? The dude lost his career just because he's in a video talking to the police. You know what I mean? That's why right now, look at Gunna's situation. Gunna has that video where I guess he was talking to the police or something. Now he's locked up, and that's exactly why everybody's going on. Oh, Gunna's going to tell now. Gunna's going to snitch. When is Gunna going to snitch? When is Gunna gonna snitch? Excuse me. Crazy, right? But yeah, you know what I mean? That's what's making everybody talk about that. So Wack says them dudes cannot fold. If they fold, they're going to change the course of what rappers do and don't do. Appreciate you, John. Appreciate you, bro. 1-800-TIPS. Hold on one second. Is that a new line or something? What do you call and say when you call that line? What do you what? They're like, what do you have a tip on? Dude, who be calling and making tips, man? Come on. I'm like blanking here. I'm like, tip. Like, who did that even target, Iceberg? Was T.I. just on there like, hey guys, if you ever see some criminal shit happening out there, make sure you call 1-800-TIPS and report that shit right now. If it doesn't even involve you, if it will involve your safety getting taken from you, call 1-800-TIPS. Oh, Iceberg is saying that's T.I.'s commercial. He said it not. I mean, shit. Well, it's not 1-800-Iceberg. It's 1-800-TIP, bro. It's 1-800-TIP. Add an S to it because they want multiple. And you know what I mean? It means super chat Mikey T. Now, whoever super chats, that's love. John Stone says, it's crazy because you got some good bloggers, but Mikey T, break it down and tell how. Yeah, man. A lot of the guys just report it. A lot of the guys just replay people's shit and they say, wow, man, that shit was hard, man. That shit was dope. You heard the way that he broke that down there, man. A lot of people do that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not here to do that shit, man. I'm here to discuss it with you. I'm here to point out, different factors of what's happening, different key points that are involved with it, shit like that. But some of these guys don't really watch enough of what's going on to really, have the intel of it like I do. Let me see. John, all right, let me get back into it. I appreciate the love. So let me see. Here we are. So Wack is like, if they fold, they're going to change the course of what rappers do and don't do. He's obviously given Young Thug a lot more credit there than somebody like 6ix9ine. He's given him credit as to influence the future of the culture. You know what I mean? Thug has already influenced the culture in a few different ways that I'm not going to get into right now. But if he were to do it, I mean, shit. You know what I mean? I don't really think that Young Thug is a bigger artist at his height than T.I. was at his height. Let's put that into perspective. What do you guys think in the chat? Who at their height was bigger? I'm going to have to say T.I. was a much bigger at his height than Young Thug. So T.I. doing the 1-800-TIPS, it didn't really influence the culture to be cool about putting tips in. You know what I mean? Everybody still was 100% against snitching. So yeah, I don't think Young Thug jumping on the stand like 6ix9ine did is going to influence other rappers about what they can and cannot do. I think Wack is really just trying to take the light off of his artist, having been the poster boy for that. I'm sorry, but 6ix9ine will continue to be the only poster boy for somebody who got on the stand and snitched like that. You know what I mean? Like, that was crazy how they actually had all the audio of him testifying on the stand out there. Marcus says YSL, don't tell. I know it rhymes, but maybe it's real. You know what I'm saying? YSL, don't tell. 28 people involved in this indictment. I find it hard to believe that they're actually going to catch everybody involved. I've got a feeling that there's a few people out there that are a little bit more evasive. They can be a little bit more evasive than some of the others that have to show their face on a frequent basis. You know what I mean? They say they got Yak Gotti when he was actually out doing a little bit of promotion and doing a little bit of giving back. I saw this video of him. They had like a whole little setup or something. I don't know what they were giving back. You know what I mean? So they were doing a little give back, and then apparently they got arrested at that point. But yeah, a lot of these guys have to keep up their identities. You know what I mean? Some of the others we never see on a frequent basis. Gunna is a celebrity. Gunna, once he got the warrant, I don't think there was really much more he could do with his career. You know what I mean? I don't think it was going to be easy for him to run around the United States if he had a couple more dates to do, like pulling an Old Dirty Bastard, you know what I'm saying? On the run, but popping up to Wu-Tang shows and shit like that, and probably getting a little cut of the check. I'm pretty sure Gunna knew once that arrest warrant hit, once his name was there to be in the arrest warrant, I'm pretty sure he knew his business was going to be put at a standstill. What is going on, Alicia? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. What is good? Slimes in a Coop. I like that. Is that a song, bro? Jamarcus, bro, you're going to have to ask that one in a super chat, brother. You're going to have to ask that one in a super chat. Some of that shit I don't really discuss like that. Wack was asked, what does he mean? What does he mean when he says a dude has got 24 on my head, bring me the money? So somebody asked Wack that, and Wack is like, they're going to determine what they want it to mean. What they're trying to establish is Young Thug is the boss. Young Thug is the boss. Young Thug has been waiting so long to be the boss, you guys. I think we all know that. Thug has been waiting so long to be the boss. He waited so patiently, and he got there. You know what I mean? And he got there, and now they're trying to paint him in another way. They're trying to paint him in a way that actually makes him sound crazy. For everyone just tapping in, I listened to one line from Young Thug that I believe they're taking out of context. Young Thug said, sacrifices must be made. Soldiers must fall for the battle to be won. It's like something right out of, modern warfare or something like that. I think we need to go actually check the quotes. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to go check the quotes from some of these video games on PS4 and PS5, or you know what I mean? Even if it has to go back to PS3, however old this conversation. Oh, this is from 2015. So that's some PS3 vibe right there, I want to say, right, you guys? 2015 is a PS3 vibe. Pushing prison. Kurt, you're hilarious, man. Pushing prison. Why don't you better make that as a shirt, bro? Marcus says Thug owns Atlanta. Let me see. Oh, get out of here, Iceberg. It's PS4. It's PS5 life over here, bro. PS5 life over here, bro. Let me see. So let's get back on to what Wack said. So Wack was asked about the 24 million. Wack said they're going to determine what they want it to mean. What they're trying to establish is that Young Thug is the boss. They're solidifying the RICO, and they're saying this dude is a threat to society. Probably before his next hearing, they might release info. And shake them up so when they go to the next hearing. So Wack is thinking before his next hearing, now that they've already denied bail here, before his next hearing, Wack 100 is actually predicting that they will release some more key information, key details that will actually hinder Young Thug from getting released again, you guys. I think they're going to release more information to hinder him from getting released again. Wack 100 also said that it's likely, the fact that they've got 10 years of shit. He said, if they got the phone tapped, they've got 5,000 hours. Wack went on. He said, what they're trying to establish is Young Thug is the boss. They're solidifying the RICO, and they're saying this dude is a threat to society. Probably before his next hearing, they might release info on a or two, shake them up so when they go, shake them up for when they go to the next hearing. And then he said the judge is under pressure, saying, okay, do I give him a bail and get out, and he get out and a witness start disappearing? Or do I give him a bail and he get out and he himself gets taken out? Or do I leave him right where he is and let him fight the case and secure my future? Now, because they don't care about rap music, I knew dudes be thinking $10 million is a lot of money. Because that's the big thing that everyone's saying right now, you guys. Everyone's like, oh, Young Thug has to have money saved up. Thug has bread saved up, so he's really going to eat this case. You know what I mean? But Wack 100 is saying a lot of people be thinking $10 million is a lot of money. I just heard somebody say in an interview, I'm trying to think who it was. I think it was Thug himself. I think Young Thug himself said that Gucci Man spent like 10 million, 15 million on his case where he got 3 years because he was facing 20 years or something like that. And he got something. Now that's absolutely nuts to me that Gucci Man spent $15 million on his defense. I don't even know how that makes any sense, to be honest with you guys. Yeah. You all know that you're tuned into the best blog site. I want y'all to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Make sure you subscribe, y'all. Subscribe to this channel. Yo. I don't know about that, Night Man. I don't know about that, bro. Jamarcus says money buys justice, straight up. Well, money's going to get you the best lawyers that you can have. You know what I mean? If there are certain appeal lawyers that cost a certain amount of money, and you don't have that money, you're going to be in a bad position. If there's certain lawyers that deal with certain things in court, you know what I mean? You're going to have that issue if you don't have money to pay for those things. So Wack went on. Remember, I told you this. In the next 72 hours, someone is going to say he was telling. If somebody starts telling, they're going to paint the narrative. This is why the internet is so dangerous. So Wack says in the next 72 hours, someone is going to say he was telling. If someone starts telling, I mean, the internet's already pretty much saying that about Gunna. You know what I mean? There's pretty much going to be the speculation on the internet no matter what. There's going to be speculation throughout the case. Look at all the speculation that is going on around about Casanova. You know what I mean? And then the information came up about a lot of some of Casanova's co-defendants revealing a lot of key details about what happened behind the scenes. You know what I mean? But everybody was wondering about Casanova. Everybody was questioning Casanova. You know what I mean? Because Casanova, I guess, on the Breakfast Club one time said, let's be real. If you're a rapper and you got millions and you get into, a major case, you're going to rat. Casanova said something along those lines, to save your millions. You know what I mean? To save your life with your millions, you're going to get out of jail the quickest way possible. Maybe that goes for somebody like 6ix9ine, you know what I mean, who just lost his lifeline, and I'm talking about Steve Will Do It. 6ix9ine just lost his major lifeline, burnt that bridge with Steve Will Do It. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the only reasons that I wasn't really saying anything about 6ix9ine. I'm like, all right, man. You know what I mean? Steve Will Do It. He's repping 6ix9ine. Let me fall back just because Steve Will Do It is a cool ass dude. You know what I mean? He got really misrepresented on that one podcast he went on with that dude who didn't even know anything about him, talking to him about how he interviewed Little Durk. Steve Will Do It didn't interview Little Durk. Mikey T, the movie star, interviewed Little Durk. Steve Will Do It gives away $50,000 to people in need, $10,000 to people who can't pay their rent. You need to understand when you're doing this podcast shit who you're talking about before you act, or who you're talking to. You need to understand who you're going to be talking to before you go and talk to them, especially before you go and you try to tell them how to better themselves, telling them they need to do research. Only bad research Steve didn't do was checking out your guys' podcast before he comes over and goes there, before he goes somewhere like here. Because y'all don't know, y'all don't even know what you're interviewing people about. Dudes probably don't even know their interview questions before 72 hours before it happened. I live this shit. Let me see. Marcus says, Wack for president. Yeah. Whoa. Let me get back into this, you guys, because Wack said, Wack is like, remember I told you this. In the next 72 hours, someone is going to say he was telling. If somebody starts telling, they're going to paint the narrative. And this is why the internet is so dangerous. Because, the memes, the speculation, the rumors. I mean, look at what everyone's already saying. The fact that these two guys, the figureheads of the situation, figuratively, I mean, Thug and Gunna were the two biggest things on YSL, the two only things on YSL. You know what I mean? That when it comes to actually doing shit, so that's why you got to look at it in realistics. If these guys beat the case, people are always they're gonna, well, why didn't everybody else beat the case? Why are you the only two that beat the case? People are gonna start looking at them funny. If Young Thug and Gunna are the only ones who get bail, you two are the only ones who got bail, why didn't anybody else get bail? And that's why all this conversation is going to start spreading. Just like the conversation about what Bobby Shmurda did, Bobby Shmurda taking extra time so Rowdy Rebel could get out. That conversation spread in a positive manner. All the conversation, like Rollo decided he wasn't going to get out of jail at first. Rollo could have easily taken 5 years. So Rollo took 5 years and left every single one of his other people up Schitt's Creek. Everybody else done got 20 years and Rollo got 5. That's why Rollo didn't want to take that 5 years at first. He was actually holding it down for his people. Right? I agree with you, Marcus. Like nobody really is giving a shit about that, rat shit like that. Like people don't really care about that rat shit unless it's right in front of their face. It's like if you're a rapper, you know what I mean? If you're a rapper doing a song, you're not trying to do another song with a rapper that's done snitched. But if you're going to Epic Records and there's or if you're going to Interscope, or if you're going to Warner Brothers Records, or if you sign to freaking 300 and there's somebody working there who, or like how 6ix9ine says that there's somebody who works at Rock Nation that had snitched in the case. Like you're not making a big deal about that unless you are one of those people who really reads into shit, like, and really just wants to cut off opportunities for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're not reading into shit like that. Like, and you're saying, oh, that that dude who is actually the executive vice president's secretary snitched. So I'm not messing with that label whatsoever. Yo, the vice chairman's secretary's assistant was a rat. I know he was a rat. He got a little gig up here at that label making 500 a week. I ain't signing to the label for $4 million. They endorse rats. Like, that's some fake ass shit, man. That's some fake ass shit. 6ix9ine is just mad that Rock Nation probably doesn't want to touch him. 6ix9ine was actually before he got out of jail, he was telling the label, "You better sign me for $13 million. You better sign me for $13 million, or else when I get out, I'm going to sign the biggest deal and I'm going to leave you in the dust." Now, the only way 6ix9ine could have got a bigger deal than that $13 million joint is if he had come out of jail, did that live stream with 2 million people, and then signed his deal right after that. That would have, record labels would have bought into him right after then. That is when he was at his height and everybody really buy. If you can have 2 million people log into your live stream on Instagram, your record sales should freaking skyrocket. Your record sale potentials should be through the roof. If you can have 2 million people tune into you for 1 hour of the day at a random time, at a totally random time or whatever, and that day, like, that would say a lot to any label. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a 20 million or a $40 million deal for 4 albums. You know what I'm saying? Like some Lil Wayne Cash Money shit. I wouldn't be surprised if he couldn't have finagled something like that, you guys. Just being real. But he kind of he signed the $13 million deal, it kind of kicked him in the ass. Ooh. Yo, Kilo, what's popping? He says Young Thug is only worth 8 million. That's what his net worth is right now, bro. And 4 million for Gunna. And Gunna's worth 4 million. Mikey T, what's good, bro? He did not make demands of Rock Nation. He just tried to expose Meek Mill for being signed to Rock Nation because there's somebody that snitched on the label. It's like, yo, are you kidding me right now? You're telling me, and this is no shade at Snoop Dogg. I know he's working with Def Jam right now. Major love to Snoop Dogg. But you're telling me, like, you're saying, like, if Def Jam called me tomorrow, yo, Mikey T, we want you to head the podcasting division at Def Jam Records. What? You're telling me I'm going to get an opportunity to do podcast with everybody that works at Def Jam on a frequent basis throughout the year? Yes, Mikey T, we want you to come over here to Def Jam and run the podcasting division. I'm in. So you're telling me that I'm not going to take the deal because there's somebody at Def Jam that has snitched before? Like, are you kidding me? Like, that is just childish shit. You know what I mean? That's not gangsta. I understand 6ix9ine probably thinks that's gangsta, but that's not gangsta. You know what I mean? That is what you call stupid. That is what you call stupid. You know what I mean? When you try to actually have your opinion, you try to base your opinion and put it on everybody else to be like, yo, man, he's working with a rat and that's not cool. Nobody should. And he's trying to cancel Rock Nation. Kurt, what numbers are you talking about, bro? Are you talking about the I don't know what numbers you're talking about. Yep. But let me get back into this here. So Wack said, do say it. And if it hits the internet, it starts spreading. Exactly. You know what I mean? If, like you said, they're going to paint the narrative and dudes say it. And if it hits the internet, it starts spreading. They only released 3 little wiretaps. And we all know in 10 years, they got more than them 3. They're trying to disrupt it. If he has another big bond hearing, they're going to try to disrupt it because he has another bail hearing. So yeah, that's what Wack actually had to say about it. You know, he said they only released 3 little wiretaps, and we all know in 10 years they got more than them 3. And Wack believes at the next bond hearing or before the next bond hearing, they're going to actually release some pretty damning information. Now, Akademiks had some interesting stuff to say about this as well. I don't know if you guys were tapped in earlier, but he had said, reading the indictment, to be fair, they're sitting in jail because of their own actions. Now, Akademiks is being brutally honest when he's giving his opinion here. You know what I mean? He's being brutally honest in his own opinion. You know, he's not really letting anything take away from his opinion on topics right now. Why? Because that's what his audience taps in for. You know what I mean? They're not tapping in to hear him give a secondary opinion of what somebody else already said. You know what I mean? That's why Akademiks actually went on to Wack 100's Clubhouse and really called out everybody on the chat, because, you know, rather than Wack is giving all these people the opportunity to have their own voice and to shine, but they're all just seconding what he says. They're all just agreeing with what he says. And that's why I think Akademiks is really just coming out here and telling it like it is, because he's honestly you know, like when they say, when 6ix9ine said Hassan Campbell is the biggest blogger on YouTube, you know what I mean? Akademiks took a little bit of exception to that. I feel like Akademiks kind of thinks he's the biggest blogger on YouTube as well. You know what I mean? Akademiks content is a little bit different than Hassan Campbell's content. Let's get a poll up here. I like it. Let's do a little poll for everybody tapped in right now. I want to know who's the better blogger. I want to know. Don't worry, you guys. I'm not going to put myself in there. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put myself in there. Who is the better blogger? Is it Ack? Is it Ack, DJ Akademiks, or is it Hassan Campbell? I want to know what y'all think. The vote is on you guys. Everybody in here, vote in the poll right now. Oh shit, I'm like, what the hell is that? Not bad. We Gucci. I just need everybody to vote in the poll right now. I want to know who do you guys Sean, just vote in the chat, bro. That's crazy official. I never heard about that shit with the drones. I never heard about that shit with the drones, bro, to be real with you. Akademiks is leading Hassan Campbell right now, 75% to 25%. Everybody vote in the poll. Everybody go vote in that poll right now. Show some love. We got 125 people in here. Everybody go vote in that poll right now. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, James Bond? Appreciate you for tapping in. Okay, you blazing on some AK-47, bro? Okay, it's a little old school with it. Damn, Nightman. Yeah, that shit is crazy just to hear that, man. Makes me want to actually read the indictment out, but might do that on another live. Like I said, if anybody sends a super chat, I'll bring that shit up right now, though. It's got to be a substantial super chat, and I'll bring up the indictment, though. But everybody vote in the poll right now. I want to know, who do you think is the better blogger? Everybody vote in the poll right now. So Akademiks said, reading the indictment, to be fair, they're sitting in jail because of their own actions. They were obsessed with violence, just like they were into making music. It seems like it's a case, and I got more details for you. I know we want to say the cops set them up, and I wonder how the cops got this info if it's only a record label. Well, honestly, I mean, I wouldn't come on here and say, "Oh man, they were set up." You know what I mean? They were set up. Da 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 da. Da. A lot of times, it's not a setup. You know what I mean? It's not a setup. It's just inaccurate information. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going back to that shit from back in the day. Oh, they like from the Chappelle show, and then they drop a little baggie on them. You know what I mean? I'm not running with that. But at some point in an artist's career, they have to prove themselves. You know what I mean? They got to prove themselves. Look what Snoop Dogg ended up going through just because him and his bodyguard, they had to defend themselves. They were arrested. They had to prove themselves in a court of law. You know what I mean? There's a lot of circumstances where artists are going to get put through a situation that they've got to beat. The Gotti brothers, Murder Inc., the whole situation with Supreme, they got brought to court and they were like, yo, your record label proceeds, they're in question. You know what I'm saying? We have an issue with where you got the money from your label. Now we're seeing what's happening with Young Thug. Young Thug blows up as such a major artist, but he didn't necessarily get his label going. And because YSL could honestly be like a Def Jam at this point. You know what I mean? Like Young Thug could have taken the reins from Gucci, from what Gucci did. He got a whole list of artists started up, like 7 or 8 different artists. You know what I mean? Where if Gucci legitimately had his business right, he could have had a Def Jam as well. But Young Thug didn't really follow in those footsteps so well. Young Thug more so built his own career up. Then he put Gunna on, then rest in peace, Keed. You know what I'm saying? He started putting Keed on. What's going on? We got Detroit in the building tonight. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Major salute. We got Philadelphia Eagles in the building. Salute to you. Salute to you on the tap in, bro. So Akademiks basically said they are charging Young Thug to be the leader of YSL. Okay, he's the leader of YSL. You know what I mean? YSL was the young stoner life. You know what I mean? Young stoner life. It kind of started out as like almost like a Wiz Khalifa type of geeky thing. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you know what I mean? Young stoner life. Maybe they got it a little bit more gangsta when they turned it to Young Slime life. You know what I mean? Because like just being real. The young stoner life, it was a little bit goofy. You know what I mean? Some of the faces that Young Thug was making, you know what I'm saying? It was a little goofy. But Young Thug, I guess, switched it up. You know what I mean? When he started doing everything literally with the Rich Gang. You know what I mean? Go listen to some of the songs like Ride. You know what I mean? Go listen to some of those songs. But when I say goofy, sometimes you got to find a way to make yourself appealing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to find a way to make yourself appealing. Sometimes you got to find a way to make yourself look cinematic on the camera. You know what I mean? Young Thug did it with so many different wearing pink and all the bright colors, and you know what I'm saying, and wearing the cheetah print dress. You know what I mean? He almost made himself look like a character in a comic book sometimes, with the way that his hair would be, the way that his teeth would look. Like I said, the expressions on his face. You know what I mean? It was different. You know what I mean? But that's the only way you make it in the industry. You're not going to make it in this industry by being a carbon copy of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Jesus, KD. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Was that the Digits single, or was that just the album that Digits was on? Yep, that's true. That's true. Iceberg said YSL are the initials of the luxury fashion brand, and that's why he named his set that. But also, his first single was called Stoner, and that's kind of like the if you think back to that Gucci Man video where he was smoking a blunt and he actually let Bart Simpson hit his blunt and he was being all goofy in that sense, that's kind of like almost like the persona I was seeing Young Thug with to a certain extent. Like he was that guy, but then he took a more gangster image with it. He put down all the quirky. Once he got on, he put down all the quirky shit, probably aside from painting his nails. You know what I mean? He put aside all that quirky shit once he made it. And I guess I could say I was happy about that. You know what I mean? Because but I can't say I was happy about it. I was indifferent about it because I had lost interest in Young Thug once he started changing his voice and making that goo wops home shit. You know what I mean? I really lost interest in him. I guess I kind of liked the more quirky Young Thug to when he just started doing whatever he's doing now. NYC slang, yeah, yeah. Yeah. What up? What up? What up? The kid's back. Appreciate you for tuning in. Marcus says he was just trying the rock star life. Yeah, well, when you say the rock star life, I think you're talking about like I think you're talking about like some Elton John shit, to be honest with you. Elton John wasn't Elton John really wasn't into rock and roll. But what type of music was Elton John? Look that up real quick. Yeah, it's pop, country music pop. Yeah, Young Thug was so eccentric. That's what drew everybody into him, man. You could not help but love Young Thug's music, you guys. As much as anybody wanted to bash him, you know what I mean? You couldn't help but to love the music. The way Birdman put out those first singles, classic. Classic. The way Birdman rode him around to all those nightclubs, classic. You know what I mean? Pretty Thug. Oh, Marcus, I was wondering who you was talking about when you were saying leave Thug alone. I didn't really think, you know what I mean? I didn't really think anybody was sending any shots. I didn't really think anybody was sending any shots at Young Thug. But back in the day they did, but everybody really just jumped on. But I haven't really been all that in tune with some of his recent music, guys. Just to be real with you, I don't come on here and fake the funk. You know what I mean? I don't come on here and fake it. I'm not in tune with it no more. I'm not in tune with that shit no more. And I fell off from Young Thug right when I told you. And that was when he started changing his voice. I fell off from Chief Keef when he started seemingly disconnecting from the music. You know what I mean? Started just putting anything on record. I guess it's kind of like what Drake said. His buzz was so big that he could sell a blank disc. Who you talking about, Chesney? You got to put the name in there so I could read it. So, yeah, Akademiks got into some epic shit tonight, where basically he went over a bunch of the wiretaps. He went over like 3 different wiretaps that they have of Young Thug, actually. DMs, I guess jail phone calls as well. I really can't believe that. Jail phone calls, you guys. Man, these guys got to be cleaner when it comes to this shit. And I'm not even saying they got to be cleaner, like they got to be more undercover with it, man. It's like, bro, like when you're making that much money, you don't need to be doing that dumb shit. Dudes could take care of other people like 10 times over. You know what I mean? Dudes could be waking up eating bacon and eggs and frosted flakes for the next 600 years. But they're too caught up, like Akademiks is saying. They're too caught up. He says here, let me see. And they are charging Young Thug to be the leader of YSL. And they are saying that he is the kingpin. Hold on one second. Where's the quote that I wanted to read? He said, I'm still flabbergasted. These guys were up tens of millions of dollars, but we're out here playing some cops and robbers. GTA, which tells you that they couldn't have valued their freedom. We will see what happens. Hopefully, Young Thug gets out. Now, Wack 100 said that he had a lot of love for Young Thug as well, which I find that a little bit hard to believe, to be 100% honest with you. I found that a little bit hard to believe because of the fact that Young Thug kind of clowned the game. You know what I mean? But obviously, Wack has a little bit of a cloudy memory or just cloudy vision in general. A little bit of a cloudy vision in general, you guys, because, it was alleged that Wack didn't even know that Hassan Campbell dissed him in the game. He was pretty much saying that he didn't know that they actually dissed him. So maybe Wack, I don't see how he could miss Young Thug dissing the game. It's kind of crazy. Oh, he was actually moved CEO? Because everybody was reporting on the bad conditions that Young Thug was facing. They actually called it dungeon like conditions. You know what I mean? I can't believe that they would have Young Thug housed somewhere like that. You know what I mean? I just find it crazy if they were to have him housed somewhere in conditions that aren't even sanitary. You know what I mean? I just don't see how that could be accurate. I just hope that wouldn't be accurate. You know what I mean? The guy's locked up right now, but he deserves to have dignity. You know what I mean? Anybody, they deserve to have dignity and shit like that. Official says, I think they are trying to break him. Jesus. What's it like, one of those movies? What's it like, one of those movies? But let's bring it to some open questions. We've got through the topics. Got some dope topics tonight. Akademiks spoke on the situation. Wack 100 spoke on it as well. I think Wack must have been kind of responding to what Akademiks said to a certain extent. Yeah, that's right. But also we spoke about Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs allegedly went through a crazy situation in Buffalo. Some people are trying to tie Benny the Butcher to it because of their whole back and forth. I think that's complete BS. You know what I mean? I don't really think that Benny the Butcher has the time for that type of shit. Just my opinion. You know what I mean? Just my opinion on that whole situation. I don't really think Benny has the time for that. Benny is at a different place in his life. You know what I mean? And now with touring opening back up and shit, he's got paper to get. Freddie Gibbs was performing in Buffalo, I guess. He still performed. There's pictures of him performing. You know what I'm saying? There's pictures of him performing. So it's not like he missed a performance, but he was wearing the Pooh Shiesty. You know, he was wearing the Pooh Shiesty face mask, which, you know, like the whole face mask thing, you guys, like if you get into a scuffle, you know what I mean? A lot of the times, why are you going to need to cover this part of your head? Like nobody's going to be able to see this part of your head whatsoever. You know what I mean? Unless you're trying to cover this part of your face and this part of your face, that is when it becomes a little bit more of a necessity to actually wear those things. What's up, Alicia? She's back. Nightman. Nah, I don't be looking shit like that up, bro. I don't be, bro. Come on, man. I surround my life with hip hop, bro. I don't be surrounding my life with looking up the rules and regulations of you know, what's going on in the law. I'm sorry. I do my shit. I'm on the straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? I do my shit on the straight and narrow. I smoke a bunch of weed. That's about it. I have a little champagne. I'm making my way in the music industry. I want to take this shit over. Believe me, I am not concerning myself. You know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was talking about that in DUI shits a little bit earlier, man. They're trying to put a whole bunch of different things on us just to, you know, tie us down in certain situations. It's like I got to worry about that type of shit every time I'm going out to get a steak. It's like, damn. It is what it is, though, man. I know I'm focused. I know I'm focused on what I'm doing, and that's what it is at the end of the day. Plus, I live in Connecticut. Shit's a little bit different here in Connecticut. You know what I mean? You can't exactly do everything that they can do in these other states. You know what I mean? Shit's a little bit more shit's a little bit different in the other states, man. Yeah, bro. Filet mignon, baby. Yeah, I'm funny, but not Gilly the Kid funny, right? I'm funny, but not Gilly the Kid funny. But yeah, you know what I mean? We all have our strengths. You know what I'm saying? Gilly's amazing, man. I know they all just did a major performance the other day. I'm wondering when I'm gonna get my opening act spot. No, I'm just kidding, man. I don't be expecting anybody to do anything for me. I do this shit. You know what I'm saying? I do this shit. And when we get that big ass deal, they're gonna be like, damn, Mikey T was doing that shit. But yeah, this whole Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs situation, you guys. Who do y'all got? Who do y'all got in this Benny the Butcher or Freddie Gibbs situation? We all know when Benny came into the game, he was getting a lot of alley oops. Not at first. Let's be real. Not at first. It happened after Benny the Butcher actually built up his name. You know what I mean? It happened after, you know, Griselda had introduced Benny the Butcher as their next big thing. No, he really made his name in the game. Let's talk about Tana Talk 3 a little bit. Let's talk about the fact that the only feature outside of Griselda that we got on there when we're talking about hip hop is Royce the 5'9". Major salute to Royce the 5'9". You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. Benny the Butcher came into the game and got people's attention based on his music. But at a certain point of his career, people were acting like they didn't know who he was. Let's be 100% real. People were acting like they didn't know who he was. So when he came in and he got everybody's attention based on the raps, this is a few years after he went through that phase of nobody knowing who the hell he was. You know, so he came about it a little bit different. It's not like everybody just Yo, I seen Benny the Butcher. He was nothing. You know what I mean? He was nothing. And then I gave him this alley oop. There's probably a couple people out there with some stories that showed him love from the really earlier on. Like I had actually, I think when I was with him, who was it that I brought up? Maybe Smoke Dizza. You know what I'm saying? I brought it up. I actually did an interview with Benny about that. He didn't have the most people to list off to me. You know what I'm saying? So in saying this, when Freddie Gibbs brought Benny the Butcher onto his show, he let him perform, he let him open up for him. I would like to see if that was before or after Benny the Butcher did the BET Cypher. If anybody could get me that date, you know what I'm saying? I think that's something to add to this conversation. You know, Freddie Gibbs also said, why would I want to go at somebody? Why would I have to go at somebody? Hold on. Why would I go at somebody that I sold more than? He said something along those lines. He said something along those lines, you guys. Why would I have to go at somebody who I sold more than or something like that? He said he basically addressed the fact that he sold 30,000 units. He had sold 30,000 units on the Alfredo album. Benny the Butcher sold 20,000 units, or before that, Benny might have had another project that he had sold and it did under 30,000 units as well. You know, that's kind of like that's like a fact that's not really going to last that long. You know what I mean? You can hit with a little blow like that. You know what I mean? You can hit him with that blow that like how 6ix9ine be like, oh yeah, well my video did 500 million views. Well, what does your new video have, bro? 10 million views? Okay, because my video is going to end up doing 250 million views. And then you want to know what? 10 videos from now, I'm going to have 250 million views. Now you went from 500 million views to 20 million views. Like, look at the factor of it, man. Shit don't be adding up. Benny the Butcher released Tana Talk 4, which is his series that he did when he was a majorly independent artist. This is the series that Benny did when he was a relatively unknown artist, you guys. And now he's bringing it to the mainstream and he moved 19,000 units of it. You know what I'm saying? Freddie Gibbs, the Alfredo project, this comes after his deal with Interscope, after his deal with Young Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? This is his most up-to-date music. This is the most up-to-date music that he's going to make. When Benny makes Tana Talk 4, he's dipping into his old bag. He's not dipping into some of these new transitions that the industry wants him to make, that I think we're going to see a lot of when he links up with Snoop Dogg at Def Jam. We're going to see all types of new Benny the Butcher music, you guys. They're probably going to clear the record with Drake. But you know what? J. Cole went to Benny and he was like, yo, I mess with you. I rock with you. But yeah, man. I just wanted to give my take on that whole situation. And it's nothing against Freddie Gibbs. I hope everything is good with him. You know what I mean? He has not addressed any of these allegations about his chain. All the blogs going crazy about Benny potentially having something to do with that. And, you know, there's a lot more pressing issues going on in Buffalo right now, you guys. And that's why I don't think we're getting much of a response out of Benny about this. You know what I mean? There are more pressing situations going on right now. My heart is with Buffalo, as I said. You know what I mean? Because it really just sucks to be tuning in to the internet or onto television and seeing all this news, man. It's really heartbreaking, man. And, you know, I just don't think that hip hop beef is the number one priority right now. You know what I mean? But like I said earlier, I don't think this would have been a priority in Benny's life. Anyways, this is a man that's making such an ascent in the music industry. I don't think you would. Benny had said that working with Freddie Gibbs came and it went. You know, Freddie Gibbs kind of took that as an insult. You know what I mean? Like Benny the Butcher just climbed up that ladder really quick. You know what I mean? To the point where he was working with Pusha T. You know what I mean? To the point where he was sitting with Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Uh, Rocking with Eminem and shit, and moving on from there to take meetings with Jay-Z and shit like that. Real big opportunities. Getting shouted out by Drake. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Now the comment, it is what it is. You know, an interviewer asked Benny the Butcher about it, and he said what he said. Sometimes people like that is such a little quote. I don't even think it needed to be included in the interview. But a lot of these guys out there, you know what I mean, doing interviews, they're going to keep every piece of content that they get. And look what happened to that piece of content. It went viral. That piece of content went viral, even though it was that quick. It went viral. You know what I mean? Yo, 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 Omar, salute to you, brother. I already know, man. Major salute, Queen. Appreciate you. Hope you have a great week as well. Yup. Benny got songs. Benny got songs with Prodigy. I actually asked Benny about Prodigy. Took the money to the plug house. Got my whole team in the dugout. Oh, yo, 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 KD. Oh, I'm actually getting some runts ready. I'm actually getting some runts ready right now. About to get some runts ready. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to tap back in on that Benny the Butcher, Freddie Gibbs situation a little bit. You know what I mean? Gibbs made a comment about the record sales. You know what I mean? Gibbs made a comment about the record sales, which I think is a bit premature. You know what I mean? I think that comment is a little premature. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a premature comment to be making when you're talking about somebody's street tape compared to what you're considering, compared to what are your best record sales. Let's just be point blank, period. You know what I mean? Let's be realistic with this. The Alfredo the Alfredo sales were the best sales that Freddie Gibbs ever did. Benny the Butcher moving 20,000, 19,500, whatever the official number was, it was right around there. You know what I mean? I don't have the exact number in front of me. I think if I look it up, it'll say 19,500. But Benny the Butcher is only moving up from there. The fact that 19,000, and a lot of those were actually physical sales. But yeah, you know, you got to take that shit into consideration, man. He got the cheap heat with that though. Okay. Okay, you got one on Benny there. You got him on it now. But what about when his Def Jam debut album comes out and he sells 150,000 first week? You know what I'm saying? What about then? Eh, You know, 2 years. What about in 2 years when you're eating your words? You know what I mean? Like that's why sometimes you got to hold back with comments like that. You know what I mean? You got to hold yourself back from, okay, I done sold from the 50 cent comments. You know what I mean? Robert says, Benny is better, hands down. Sour tonight, Mike T. Yo, sour, okay. You on that sour, all right. Who's Freddie, Omar? Whoa, what up, Jamarcus? You're blazing on some shoelace. Tweed? What tweed? 97%. Ooh. Yeah, you guys, this is a dope live video tonight, man. You know, Wack 100 is saying that it's going to be looked at what Young Thug does. He said the pressure is on for Young Thug right now, you guys. Wack 100 is questioning if Young Thug will snitch. What do you guys think? What do you guys think, man? Does Wack 100 really have, like, should he really be questioning this about Young Thug? You know what I mean? Do y'all think that Young Thug is really gonna just turn over, give his career up? You know what I'm saying? Young Thug has so much more money to get, but a lot of people are gonna say, well, Mike T, he has so much money more to get, but how is he gonna get that money if he's locked up? Young Thug has so much more money to enjoy. You know what I mean? He has so much more money to enjoy, you guys. The simple fact is that Young Thug, you guys, Young Thug is probably let me see. Hold on one second. Young Thug net worth. Someone said 8 million earlier. Wow, it really is only 8 million. I mean, that's a good amount of money to actually want to get out. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money to want to get out of jail to go and spend. You know what I mean? That's a lifetime worth of money. Well, maybe not for Young Thug. You know, Young Thug's got that Mason Betha issue where he's not worth 2 million with 2 million in his pocket. But who the hell would be worth 2 million with 2 million in their pocket? If I had $2 million in my pocket, I would be buying some dope ass shit. You know what I mean? They're like, oh shit, Mikey T just said if he had $2 million, he would be buying some dope ass shit. We are not signing Mikey T now. Cancel out Mikey T's deal. Cancel out Mikey T's deal with Barstool Sports. He just said if he gets $2 million, he's going to be buying some really cool ass shit. What's the problem? I'm going to show you what I buy on the internet. What the hell's the problem? I'll be doing live streams with the Gucci, with the Soldier Boy Gucci headband and all that. People will be like, man, this dude is crazy. This dude is wild. Let me see. Yeah, Robert. 8 million with 100 acres. I don't know if that whole 100 acre shit is accurate, bro. They be I'm not hating either, bro, but they be not capping, but they be embellishing, you know what I mean? They kind of be embellishing a little bit when they talk about shit like that. Is it really 100 acres? You know what I mean? Are they really building a pool party thing, like a water park? You know what I mean? They say a lot of things that they're gonna do, you know what I mean? But we hear people on the internet all the time calling others out for the way that they say they're gonna spend their money, for the way that they say they're gonna invest the money into the community and shit like that. We've heard Young Thug say these things about, you know what I'm saying, setting up a community with a water park. When he was on the Breakfast Club about 6 months ago, or I think it was in October of 2021, he said the only thing that they had built on that 100 acres was a helipad, was a place to land their helicopter. I'd seen a couple different images. It looked like it was water park ready. You know what I mean? It looked like they could get something going there. That would be sweet. That'd be sweet too. It's all good, Omar. It's all good, bro. LOL. And then they woke up. 50 acres and a mule. Yeah, that was a film production company, right, Jamarcus? I believe that was a film production company. 40 acres and a mule, Filmworks. Yep. Wow, Spike Lee actually owns that company. Wow, that's dope. Founded in 1979. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, water park. All Around says all Young Thug has now is memories, not up for discussion. I disagree. I think Young Thug's gonna pull through this one. Yeah, Spike Lee. Spike Lee. I remember hearing about that company for so long, like literally back in the day when I used to go to a couple different film critic websites and just read movie reviews and shit like that. Like you guys know I'm a big movie head. Going, my brother who actually did Slapface, and have you guys seen Slapface yet or what? Have you guys seen the movie that I'm in or what? I'm gonna put the link up just in case anybody in here wants to check out the movie that I'm in. It's a horror movie, psychological thriller, couple dope actors in it. And I'm in there as well if you want to check it out. I'm gonna put the Amazon Prime link up just because I feel like the majority of people in here will more than likely have Amazon Prime. Let me see right here though, you guys, because I want to check out this poll. I asked everybody, vote in the poll if you haven't. I asked everybody, who is the better blogger? Who is the better blogger is what I asked everybody. We got 46 votes. I'm going to need 50 more people to vote in there right now. Everybody vote in the poll right now. Who's the better blogger? Is it Akademiks or is it Hassan Campbell? I want to know. Right now, Akademiks is leading with 67%, and Hassan Campbell has 33%. Very interesting numbers right there. You know, their content is hella different. You know, everybody knows their content is hella different. Akademiks pretty much covers all hip hop. Hassan covers hip hop. He also covers, you know, real life shit. You know, like right now he's doing, or tonight he did some broadcast on Buffalo. I believe Doggy Diamonds did as well. You know, salute to those guys, man, for really impacting the culture. Really giving a voice for, you know, these situations. You know, I'm glad that they're on there, you know, really talking about this type of shit, you know, because they got a moving voice. But if anybody wants to check, if you're like, yo, Mikey T, if anybody out there is like, yo, Mikey T, what's all this cap about? What's all this cap, Mikey T? You ain't ever been in a movie, Mikey T. I'm sick and tired of hearing Mikey T, the movie star. If y'all think it's cap, I want y'all to go check out Slapface right now. I want y'all to go check out Slapface right now. I got it pinned up. I got it pinned up. So I need everybody to go look at that. I ain't gonna. Whoever watches it, I want to know your review. Whoever watches the movie, I want to know your review as well, you guys. Sorry, y'all. I'm just rolling up right now. My bad. My bad. I'm rolling up. Give me a second. Vote in the poll if you haven't. If you haven't voted in the poll, I want to know who's your favorite blogger. I want to know who is your favorite blogger, you guys. Is it Akademiks? Is it Akademiks, you guys? Or is it Hassan Campbell? That's what I want to know, y'all. Who do y'all got? Just between them. I know there's others. I know there's others out there. You know what I mean? But I'm asking between them because really, 6ix9ine told Akademiks Hassan was the best blogger, and it seemed like an issue had been taken with that. It seemed like Akademiks took an issue with that. Sorry, y'all. I'm rolling up right now. Moderators, handle that if you see that. I got him out of here, though, too. All right, I'm gonna have to take some people's wrenches. I'm gonna take some people's wrenches because honestly, that shouldn't be happening. Fitting to take up all the wrenches. Oh, damn it. Yeah, because the people love the live chat. You know what I mean? Everybody loves to speak with each other in the live chat. That's why that's epically annoying, KD. That's why that's epically annoying for everybody. What's going on, though? Everybody keep on tapping in the chat, man. Put your thumbs up. Put those stars up in the chat right now. Y'all forgot, put them stars up for Mikey T. Yeah, that's crazy. It's like one of my moderators is just keep on unblocking them. You know what, man? Sorry, y'all. What up, AK Ideas? Hold on, what was that? I seen your chat. What's up? What's up? You Mike. That's why you hear you. Finally got that L twisted up. And we good. What are you smoking on? What's everybody blazing? AK, what up? What up? What's up? What you doing, man? Yeah, you know that shit can't last for more than 2 or 3 minutes. Alicia says I can't even twist mine. Northern Lights, okay. Oh, damn, Rob, you still got that golden goat? Let me see. Wow. Damn, that's really sad that someone hates on me that bad. Jamarcus Shugu. Runts. What up, Jalen? What up, Jalen? What's popping with you? AK says cherry runts for me right now. Damn. They make every different kind of runts, huh? They make my guy had black runts. What, yo, Rob, you're still smoking on that good shit, man? Sounded like some good shit that you had. What was it again? Damn, Omar. Oh, really? Damn, they got that. I want to look up and see what that bag looks like. White runts, okay. White runts, all right. White Russian and moonshine, all right. That's right, the golden goat. I had that vape pen a couple times. I legitimately had that vape pen a couple times, you guys. Alicia says, Mikey, just know this troll shit is a come up. If you weren't piquing interest, the trolls wouldn't be here. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, but yeah, just I'm probably gonna be taking everybody's wrench, just to be honest with you, man. Like when I see some moderators in here, you know what I'm saying? Because I be doing all the rent shit, to be honest with you, man. I'm the one who was blocking that troll like 8,000 times. All pro smoking on some regular shit tonight. Some of that White Widow. That might be 6ix9ine spamming the chat. That's pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome. That was a super bot. Yeah, I know you ain't really big on the wrench squad, Alicia. When the poll went down. What do you mean the poll went down? The poll's still up. Oh, well, I mean, shit. We all made it through the storm. That was like the perfect storm, you guys. We all made it through the perfect storm tonight. Just the original, bro. Just the original Dutch. Just the original Dutch. That was a super bot, Jamarcus. So what does that mean that it was a super bot? Damn, man. People is really hating. They's like, yo, we got to get this Mikey T guy out of here, man. But don't worry, man. Don't worry. That ain't gonna matter. Once I sign my $2-3 million deal, that shit ain't gonna matter. That shit ain't gonna matter. I'm gonna be going through Rodeo Drive doing my blogs. You know what I mean? Connecting with the biggest artists in the game. So just keep on watching. See how we build with nothing. You know what I'm saying? See how we build with legitimately nothing. You know what I'm saying? And see how we take it to millions. And see how we take it to millions. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because my shit ain't really all about the chat. My shit is about me jumping on here and giving these impassioned speeches and shit like that. It ain't even about all that. You know what I'm saying? Because when we get up on here and I'm relaying some information, I'm shutting all these other dudes down. And don't be sending those shots at Vlad TV in my chats, man. What do you mean? Me and Jordan Tower were supposed to be bigger than Vlad TV. Don't be looking at shit like that, man. Vlad is doing great. Jordan Tower is doing his thing. I'm on my way. I'm doing my thing, man. Don't try to send no shade to Vlad. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You probably be on Vlad watching his videos. You know what I mean? Like, don't send no shade to Vlad like that. Dude is putting people on and shit. Dude is really look what he did for China Mac. You know what I mean? Not saying that the Vlad TV was the end all be all for China Mac, but look what he did for him. You know what I mean? He put China Mac on his platform when China Mac was relatively unknown, more than unknown. You know what I'm saying? He was more so unknown at that point. China Mac was able to take that shit and build it up to a whole nother level. When you get an opportunity, you gotta run with it, man. What up? What up? What up? What up? It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good, man. We're about to take over the whole industry. Y'all know we're fitting to just be about to be up in an office. And I got the best team behind me as well. I got the best team behind me, video directors, digital content creators, artists. I got the best team behind me too. So when we make it up in the industry, it's just going to be a pure takeover. We just need that one team that's going to jump behind us. And then we're going to be taking over every single city. You know what I'm saying? On some music shit. Don't get it twisted. Major salute to Lord Jamar. Yup, Lord Jamar. He be doing his thing on his own podcast. I really don't know why him and Vlad fell out. I mean, when people are, people should be able to have a conversation, to be 100% honest. You know what I mean? They should be able to have a conversation. But sometimes it takes time. Like if you noticed Charlemagne and Vlad, it took a lot of time for them to actually have a conversation. But once they did, they put everything back together. The dream team, baby. The dream team, baby. Yeah, we made it through the storm, you guys. I really appreciate everybody sticking in through the live. You know what I'm saying? People can think whatever they want to think. You know what I mean? But this channel right here, it means so many different things. If I take out the chat, you know what I mean? Y'all can still listen. I can talk to y'all. You know what I mean? But also, they can't beat us from the way that we interact either. They cannot top us on the way that we interact, you guys. They can't top that shit. There's reason. There's reason to hate. You know what I mean? Seka says, the movie was decent, bro. I really appreciate you checking out the Slapface movie. If anybody in here has not seen Slapface, if you want to see me in a film, check it out. I'm actually in there for a short cameo. Y'all can see me there with a new fade and shit like that. It's pretty wavy. It's pretty wavy. Wow. Robert says, oh shit. Hold on. Robert watched it as well. Robert says, I liked it. 7 out of 10. Rob, what was something you liked about the movie Slapface? Can you give me one or two things that you liked about the movie so I can read them to the chat? And you know what I mean? Alicia says, I saw it. I have to watch it again. Interesting that you want to watch it again. Nightman, I'm next for what? I'm next for what, bro? I'm next for what? But yeah, hold on one second. Damn, man. I need everybody in here to follow me on the gram. I want everybody in here that's watching this to follow me on the gram. I'm going to follow y'all back. Whoever follows me right now, I'm going to follow y'all back. You heard? Appreciate everybody for really tapping in with me, man. We have some of the best live discussions on here. Alicia says, because you always see something different when you watch a movie multiple times. Well, let me ask you, did you see me pop in there? Yeah, so whoever follows me right now, I'm going to follow you guys back. Seka says, the young kid, that is August Maturo. He's actually was in the show The Girl Meets World, which is the retelling or the follow-up series of Boy Meets World. You know, the whole Corey Topanga thing. Yeah, my brother got the kid August Maturo. Jeremiah Kipp got August Maturo to star as Lucas in Slapface. Pretty interesting that he got somebody that was actually had a reoccurring role on a series for a number of years, you know? Yeah, a lot of people are saying that August Maturo could be a star in the future. You know, he's having a good little childhood career, you know, getting an opportunity. He was actually in The Nun as well. He had a scene in The Nun as a child that was possessed, and yeah, he did a little bunch of crazy shit in The Nun, and then he actually starred in this Slapface movie, which was his follow-up horror movie, which is awesome. Pretty awesome. If anybody hasn't seen that, go check it out so you can come back and tell me what you thought of it. His brother was played by Michael Manning. Tom. But yeah. Does anybody have any final questions before we get out of here tonight? Omar, you are hilarious, bro. You're about to eat some cereal and ice cream together. You are having a great time. Sounds like you're having a great time over there. I'm just literally about to probably do a little bit of research, watch a movie, and blaze an L and go to sleep. You know what I mean? But you just sound like you're having a blast over there. Oh, shit. Alicia's saying she's going to give a full review tomorrow. Oh, Lord. We're going to get that full review of Slapface tomorrow from Alicia. And I hope to get the full review of Slapface from all of you watching this video as well. You know what I'm saying? I hope that all of you will check it out if you have Amazon Prime. If you don't, it's also on Shudder. If you don't have that, then Google it, Slapface the movie. How can I watch it? And you'll find a way to watch it. There's got to be a couple other streaming services. If you're out of the country, there's a couple streaming services as well. Can't remember off the top of my head. I'll try to get that information for y'all tomorrow. But more importantly, I want to hear what everybody has to say about it tomorrow or the next time we go on live. But yeah, we're about to get up out of here. Like I said, I want everybody oh shit. Yo, Nightman, hit me on the gram right now and send me his Instagram, bro. Whoever follows me on the gram right now, I will follow back. Everybody in here also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so every time I go live, it will bring you guys to the video and y'all can tap in and we can have this dope conversation together. You know what I mean? We can all have this dope conversation together. I'm usually going over news topics. You know what I mean? A lot of times you'll see interviews, different podcasts, all on this channel. Make sure you tap in with it. This is my Instagram right here. It's Mikey T _ the movie star. Y'all should be able to click it in the chat. Again, whoever follows me, I will follow y'all back right now. I'm going to follow y'all back right now. Whoever follows me tonight. Let me see, man. Yeah. Damn. All right. All right. Don't wish that hell cell, house, hell hole on anyone. Omar, what are you talking about right now, bro? Omar, what are you saying? Are you saying you don't wish the WWE Hell in a Cell on anybody? Like, what is going on? Hold on, what's going on with China Mac over there? All right, y'all. We had a dope live tonight, man. We had a dope live tonight. Make sure y'all tap in for my next episode, y'all. I mean, shit. Oh, I see what you're saying, Omar. I really didn't get what the hell you were saying there, bro. I know you're over there having a good time. Shit is hilarious. My bad. I keep on telling y'all I'm leaving and shit like that. I ain't trying to leave y'all hanging. There's still 80 y'all in here, man. There's still 80 y'all in here. I ain't trying to leave y'all hanging and shit. So that's why I'm blazing with y'all. Nightman, you can't just click on it, bro. What's up with you, CEO? What's up with you, CEO? Does anybody want to drop a super chat and come in and freestyle tonight? Good night, CEO. Have a good night, G's. He's hilarious, right, Alicia? He's hilarious. Damn, bro. Yo, Precious Mitchell, I definitely appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Said, definitely always entertaining, Mikey T. I always try, you know what I mean? I always try to come on here and give you guys a good show. You know what I mean? It took a little minute for me to jump on here and just have the, you know what I mean? Just have the, like the guts to come on the camera and just give you all this, you know what I mean? But I'd never thought of it at first, you know what I mean? I wasn't really trying to be on the camera at first because I was doing interviews from behind the camera. It's just the way that the game has shifted that has now put me in front of the scene. You know what I'm saying? Like at a certain point in time when you first get started with this, you're like worried about every little thing, every little mannerism, every little which way you look. You know what I mean? The way you cover the topics. You know, you kind of worry about that shit a little bit more. Nowadays, I'm really relaxed with it. Nowadays, it rolls off my tongue. You know what I'm saying? I handle this shit. Oh shit. Seka said, definitely look mad younger with the cut. Your brother has got skills. Yo, I appreciate that, Seka, man. Definitely appreciate that, bro. Hope I'm saying your I hope I'm saying your name right too, Seka. That's love, man. Appreciate everybody coming in and giving a little review of Slapface. Alicia showing a little bit of love. Okay, what's the super sticker? Number 1, baby. Number 1. That's right. That's what we are on this. Well, we're heading there. We're heading for the top. You know what I'm saying? You'll see. Y'all see where we land. Y'all will see where we land in the future. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Y'all gonna see where we land in the future. We landing up there on the top of the mountains and shit like that. There's a little bit of room for Mikey T up there. I can sense it. Major salute to Alicia for that super sticker. What is that picture of Alicia that you got there? What is your picture? You don't have no gram? We'll put Steele's gram in here real quick, bro. Put Steele's gram in here. Robert says, I told you that in your inbox. Your brother is a dope director. So what was your favorite part of the movie then, Robert? I didn't see you tell me what your favorite part of Slapface was. Whoa, 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 Alicia. Whoa, 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 Alicia. Alicia, any donation you put forward is appreciated. Don't ever feel like I appreciate anybody that gives a donation. I appreciate that shit. But Alicia, you are the shit. Hold on, what? You got MySpace? People still have that? Alicia says that is a blanket that she made. For anybody wondering, when you look at Alicia's picture, like, what is that thing there? You know what I mean? What is that thing there? It is a blanket that Alicia actually made. Jesus. CEO, I think you should change your Facebook default picture, bro. you might want to do that, like ASAP. Hell yeah. Major respect for Alicia coming through with the super chat. Appreciate that. You know, when you get the super chat, you got to keep going for a little bit. So we got to have a little celebratory smoke. You know what I mean? A respectful smoke and a banter. If anybody has a question, just don't make it too crazy. Don't be putting me on the spot. One day they're going to be screen recording all my questions and they're going to be putting them up. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, damn. My bad for saying a little. My bad for saying a little. Made you feel small. Oh, damn. Don't ever feel small. Come on now. People will be loving you in the chat. It's crazy. You know what I mean? We got like a dope ass community here in the chat. Hold on. What? That was for. Oh, see, I'll be going crazy in here, man. What did you say, Iceberg? You got a MySpace? Oh my God. I realize why you said that now, because he said he doesn't have a Facebook. It has. The CEO says Alicia is larger than life. Bro, you really got to be hitting her with that Backstreet Boy shit, man. Like, you really got to be hitting her with that. Come on, man. Can't you give Alicia a little bit something better than that Backstreet Boy shit? Give her a little bit something better, CEO. I know you can. Whoa. Whoa. Come on. No. No. This is not where we're going with this, CEO. You're a little bit too good with the words. You know, you're a little bit too good with the words to be coming like this. You know what I mean? Our real deal cheerleader. Oh, come on, bro. You're way too good with the words to be coming with those. You got to get a little bit something better for Alicia's slogan, bro. Don't hit her with those. Yeah. Yeah, you're funny, bro. I knew you. I just had to get you on that one. Oh no. Oh no. What did CEO just say to Alicia? He just said, Alicia, you the shit. I'd let you roll my weed. Oh my God. Ah, man, if only I could be there to film that. It would be like CEO would be there, Alicia would be there, and she would roll the weed, more than likely smoke it. Alicia says, I love the cheesy shit. So I guess she was down for the real deal cheerleader. Yes. Y'all is funny as hell. Okay, there we go. Elgin, thank you. Thank you. Can't we just give her something simple? Like she's the queen, real talk. You know what I mean? Just hit her with that. Hit her with that real quick. You know what I mean? She's the queen, real talk. Okay. Oh my God. See, I told y'all CEO was a little bit smoother than that. See, he's cool with it, man. He's cool with it. Oh, come on, Knight, man. Did you even watch their verses? I'm not even going to post what you said there, bro. I'm not doing that. Come on. We ain't doing that to be real. We ain't doing that to be real. You know what I mean? We done had AG Cubano on the show. AG Cubano has done some shit with Dr. Green Thumb. And you all know Fredro Star's my dog, man. Fredro Star's my guy. He told me I was one of the innovators of this blog shit. It's a real dude right there. Oh my God. Alicia, I got a quilt. Yo, Rob. Iceberg says they've got to link up and watch the Backstreet Boys. What are you talking about, Iceberg? Did the Backstreet Boys have like a reality show or something that they could potentially watch together? Or are you just talking about like the larger than life tour or something? There's got to be a tour called like the larger than life tour, like a documentary set or something like that. They could, I mean, I'm more of an Up in Smoke guy personally. Like if I'm going to watch a documentary set of like a tour, I'm watching the Up in Smoke tour. You know, you got Dre and Snoop, Exhibit and M, you know what I mean? That's a great tour. But if you guys want to watch the Backstreet Boys and the whoever else is on that tour, you know what I mean? Oh my God, Omar, what the hell, bro? Are you eating ice cream and cereal over there, bro? Right now, he's literally over there eating ice cream and cereal, and he's like, "Oh, Mikey T is doing love making." No, I'm just messing around with Alicia and CEO. You know, Omar, you know they be in the chat every night. They be in the chat every night. We be having fun and shit. CEO came in here and was spitting. He actually did some crazy shit. And then you know, he's just actually been tapped in for a few days before that, and it's dope. And Alicia's tapped in, and you know, Nightman is just a wild ass dude. You know what I'm saying? Then we got this dude Mundo right here, who I don't know what Mundo is talking about tonight, but it's always dope. You know what I mean? It kind of makes me feel like I got the whole pack in here. Then we got Iceberg running the shit. Yes, yes, I did. I pulled a Vince Staples. I pulled a Vince Staples, and I made a reference to a boy band. And Alicia put me in my spot right there because she's like, "Yo, don't be going against the larger than life phrase." She's like, "Personally, I like that one." Yo, she's like, "My shit's larger than life. Period." She's like, "You're the movie star. I get it, Mikey T, the movie star, but my shit is larger than life." I like that. So we're gonna it's larger than life. Okay, it's okay to interrupt the chat for tacos at Mundo. We respect it. That's great. That's great. Nah, you're hilarious, Omar. You be adding to the chat too, apparently, bro. You be adding to the chat too. I never really thought we would have somebody like that in the chat. We was all bugging out about how you act in the chat, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. We're all bugging out. We're all bugging out about how you act in the chat, talking about all types of shit, man. But you need to be chilling out. You need to chill out, man. You need to chill out, man. Chicken and waffles. Yeah, I actually did. No, 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 no. I did chicken and eggs last week. I did chicken and eggs because they got this amazing chicken at the hash house. But Trelute, what up, what up, what up? So trollific. So trollific is in the building. 6 years from now, so trollific becomes a major blogger. Well, I'm going to be real with you. If you're going to become a major blogger, it can't be 6 years from now. You got to do it 6 months from now. We are a wild bunch. Yeah, we are a lit bunch. Oh, Sticky Fingers has a restaurant, bro? So that must be in California. That must be in California, then, I'm assuming. Stagger Lee, don't you be over on the No DQ channel? My bad though, you guys, for making the Vince Staples comment. I remember one time I notoriously flipped out on Vince Staples for making a in sync comment. I was like, "What the hell is that, man? You're talking about how you want to sample in sync." I said some shit like that. Even though I know Justin Timberlake is a major star in the game, you know what I mean? Obviously Justin Timberlake is a major star in the game. When I got a chance to speak to Pusha T, I actually asked him about working with Justin Timberlake. He kind of misinterpreted the question though, because I was like, "Nah, Push, I want you to talk about how you first got the opportunity to link up with Justin Timberlake, not your relationship once you already done known the man. I want to know, how does Pusha T, you know what I mean? How does Pusha T and Malice go to link up with Justin Timberlake? You know what I'm saying?" Mm-mm. That's what I wanted to know, just to be honest with you. But respect to Pusha T for even giving me that interview inside of Scott Storch's studio, anyways. You know what I mean? Pusha T's a real ass dude. And maybe that was the wrong question to ask Pusha T, but I probably had about 15 minutes, to do an interview with him or whatever. I had a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? They tried to dub the interview right away. They tried to dub the interview right away. His manager was like, "Yo, Mikey T, you live here, right? We're gonna be in town for a few days." Pusha T's like, "Nah, let's do it right now." Pusha T was probably like, "That's not gonna happen. You're in Miami. You came to Scott Storch's studio. You got your work in. You know what I mean? You're probably not gonna see me again, just to be real." So he did that, and I really respected him for that shit, man. What's that? What's that, Night Man? I don't understand that comment about Jay-Z and Kanye West. As much as I love a, as much as I love a Jay-Z and Kanye. Oh, Jay-Z and Kanye set up the Justin Timberlake thing? Because it was interesting because Justin Timberlake was just going into his first solo album at that point, and they got Pusha T, in No Mouse, they got clips on there. They got clips on there, you know what I'm saying? And it was interesting just the way that they worked together. Not saying that Clips was the biggest rap group or anything back then. That's why it was a little peculiar, a little odd that Clips ended up on the Justin Timberlake joint, which was probably going to sell 1 million copies the first week. You know what I mean? There was hella buzz about him going solo. I mean, with the other group, the solo transition didn't work. The solo transition of Nick Carter didn't work. So a lot of these boy bands, like all the way going back to Michael Jackson and shit, blowing up as a solo artist. This is the same type of transition they would always make. Going to rap groups, they would always have the one rapper that would go on to become a solo artist, or even in the groups like a B2K, you had your Omarion who went on to become a solo talent. Even though I don't think Omarion got his just due, he had a bunch of different record labels, and I think he got it right one time on his own. I think it was the O album. But like I said, I pay attention to that stuff, but not so much. You know what I mean? Some of the R&B artists have got me, like The Weeknd. You know what I mean? But it's not like I'm listening to his full album of love ballads. You know what I mean? And different R&B music. But I do love some of The Weeknd's music. A lot of these R&B stars who sometimes you can't even mention them anymore. You know what I mean? Some of them just like faded out though too. But yeah, I don't specifically own any of the Weeknd's albums. My bad, man. My bad. Yeah, Night Man. That's why I say there's a lot of people that you can't even really talk about no more when it comes to R&B and shit like that. Alicia says Omarion definitely had his come up. Yeah, he had it. He had a single. I think it was it the O single or something like that, and it was before the Post to Be single, which was I think a major missed opportunity for Maybach Music Group. You know what I mean? I think it was a majorly missed opportunity for Maybach Music Group. The fact that Rick Ross didn't have him release an album behind that song. It was called Supposed to Be, right? Yep, supposed to be. But I don't really remember the other single so much, but it was like O or something, and it was a cool R&B joint. You know what I mean? Secca likes Bobby Brown. What's up, Sean? What's popping with you? Yep. Maybach O. Bro, they did not call him Maybach O. Did they? A few times? They probably did a few times. Yep. You're 100% right. The Weeknd was so lit with The Hills, often remixed, Starboy, and then he got all classic jazzy. Yeah, The Weeknd is great, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of I'm not gonna front. I love some R&B music. You know what I mean? I like to listen to some. There's a lot of dope old R&B music. I always be comparing Jennifer Lopez to Beyonce, and people just think I'm crazy. I'm like, yo, man, Beyonce versus J Lo versus battle would be epic, and people just be like, Mikey T, you're crazy. And like literally 5 people just logged out when I said J Lo versus Beyonce. They're like, Mikey T, life is too short. Yeah, life is too short not to listen to Mikey T. That's why I need my damn deal. But they see that. Not everyone can. Whoa. Yeah, Sean, you already know that. You already know that. Alicia says, "Why would you do that?" What are you talking about, Alicia? CEO says, "Love R&B too. He is too hype, instrument heavy music. You would shuck and jive to or something." What do you mean by that, bro? I mean, the music has some. The Weeknd has some music that you would dance to. Like for instance, you said Starboy. You know what I mean? And then what's that? I Can't Feel My Face. He has some other fast paced music, which is cool. But I'm more so like his music, like The Hills, Wicked Games. Remember, what was that one with Wiz called Remember Me? I liked his slow music more so. You know what I mean? He has a really dope sound. Now, Starboy to I Can't Feel My Face. I'm going Starboy. I Can't Feel My Face is just a little bit fast for me, but yo, that shows the type of music he can make. Yep. It's transitioned into pop. First of all, it was really it was the ballads is what he was really doing at first, those super ballads. When he was doing all those records like The Hills and Wicked Games and shit. Yeah, J Lo and Beyonce. People think I'm crazy for that though, Alicia. I don't understand it. J Lo and Beyonce would be the best versus battle you could do for Beyonce. Name a different female that could go against Beyonce. Come on. J Lo has 10, 12 records you can name off the top. Maybe I'm bugging on that. Maybe it's like 6. I'm swinging for the fences, you guys. Come on. Whoa, you need to chill out with all that talk, bro. First of all, I love going to the dispensary. Crazy. J Lo versus Brandy. Iceberg, you are not proving my point. Rihanna, come on, man. Beyonce and Rihanna? Come on, man. There are two. We got to do this when the women are in the same time frame, at least, bro. Like, we got to at least try to get these competitions in the same time frame. Yep. Ashanti. Ashanti would be a good one. Ashanti would be a good one. But Beyonce would wipe the floor with Ashanti. You know what I mean? Beyonce would wipe the floor with Ashanti. Let's be real. Mary J. Blige is not a good one, Mundo. I would not want to see Mary J. Blige and Beyonce in a versus. All right, Alicia, I'm going to stop mentioning that. Missy. Wow, KD, that is an absolute. That one is just a little bit better than Iceberg's. And I know Iceberg was joking. And KD, I for some reason don't think you were joking. Now, I'll be real, KD. I had the biggest crush on Maya when she had that music video where she was on the swing. You know, that video when she was on the swing, she was absolutely beautiful. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, what it would be like to be Maya's boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? What it would be like to be with Maya. You know what I'm saying? To date this girl. She was the most beautiful at that point when what was that video when she was on the swing, you guys? Because after that video, like it just seemed like, I guess, like maybe she lost the budget. So she wasn't really looking like that no more or something. It's like her record label contract diminished. It's like her budget went from being like 2 million, $5 million, whatever it was, to being like 500,000, but nah. You know what I mean? I don't know what the hell happened. I thought Maya should have been a really big star too. CEO says, "Oh my God, Maya is so damn pretty, man. She's like an angel or some shit." What is the video I'm talking about? KD says Maya was the shit in the 90s. King Mundo says Maya was my girl in the late 90s, early 2000s, and she was fine and still is. What is the video that I'm talking about, you guys? Come on. Alicia says Maya? Nope. East Coast Connect says Maya and Ashanti age like fine wine. Yeah, I won't lie. I won't lie to you, man. Ashanti, Ashanti still looks great as ever. Maybe not as great as ever, but she still looks really great. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's been, what was that when they were really that it was 20 years ago when Ashanti's album really came out. It came out and she really freaking took over and really started selling some units. You know what I mean? Just the sound that she had, I guess, it really connected. But yeah, I would have to say Ashanti was bigger than I would have to say Ashanti was bigger than Maya, obviously. Obviously. She had more of a run. Like I said, Maya's run was kind of odd. You know what I mean? It's like she got taken out of my view of seeing her. You know what I mean? It's like, what's going on? How many albums did Maya even have? Let's see. Look it up. It looks like she had about 2 albums. Nope, those are tours, I'm sorry. No, she had a bunch of albums. But, I mean, the albums that we would have known, she had an album in 1998 called Maya, and then she had the Fear of Flying album, which I remember, yep, and then she had an album in 2003 called Mood Ring. Then after that, she had an album in 2007 called Liberation, 2008 called Sugar and Spice. So actually her first time having back-to-back albums from 2007 to 2008. Then she had the album called Kiss, Keep It Sexy, and Simple. That's interesting because thinking back to that music video where she was on the swing, she was actually keeping it very simple and she was very sexy while doing it. Interesting. And 2016, Smooth Jones. That's interesting. Wonder what she did on that album. Doesn't sound like any of her other albums. She did it with a label called Planet 9. Let me see if she has any features or anything on here. Absolutely no features. Wow. And this is her album Smooth Jones from 2016. And then her last album was in 2018. It was actually called TKO, The Knockout. So let's see here. It's interesting because her first album dropped in 1998. Her second album dropped 2 years later. And then her third album came out 3 years after that. So there's already a pretty big gap in between her albums. Let's take a look at this first album. Let's see what it did for sales wise. And please let me know what video Maya was on that swinging. You got to let me know. Let me see if we got any sales here. It's what I'm mostly interested in. The commercial performance, you guys. So she sold 220,000 units first week in 1999. Let's put that in comparison. In 2005, Tony Yayo sold 215,000 units first week. The album was thought to be a failure. She was platinum. 1.4 million in the US, I guess, is all I'm getting here. Let's see how she did on her second album 2 years later. So she had to wait 2 years for the second album. Let's go over the singles. Maybe some people know the singles in here. It's All About Me, Moving On, My First Night With You. That was it. That had to be it right there, man. You already know that East Coast Connect. But nah, you know, when we get the deal, we're gonna buckle down and button up some nice jackets. Oh my God, Silk the Shocker song. What are you talking about, Iceberg? I see she has a feature with Cisco, Missy Elliott, and she did the Moving On remix featuring Silk the Shocker. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure Silk the Shocker was not on beat. Fear of Flying, her second album, 2 years later. Let me get the sales on this, you guys. I want to see what happened. Damn, we got to get the label too. This label is Interscope. Did Interscope put out her first album? Yes, they did. University and Interscope did the Maya album, and University and Interscope actually did the Fear of Flying album. And let me see, for singles, we got The Best of Me, Case of the X. Oh my God, The Case of the X. I was not a big fan of The Case of the X. And then we had Free. Who was on The Case of the X with her? Nobody, huh? The Best of Me was with Jadakiss. Taking Me Over, was with Left Eye. And then she had Beanie Man on Lie Detector. Let me see if I can get some sales for this here. Guys, the first week sales were only 72,000 copies. That's why her career kind of got shut down when she came out with that second album. Then she got another album 3 years later, Mood Ring. I'm going to go ahead and take a guess. This album did not drop with Interscope. It did. It did. They had a third album with her. And you guys, this is crazy. She had a song called My Love Is Like Whoa and Fallen, and this album actually did better. Mood Ring debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 with the first week sales of 113,000 copies. That was Maya's highest debut first week sales yet. What? That's not true. We just read that Maya had first week sales of 220,000. It was her best first week sales since her debut album. Let me see. Maya debut album first week sales. Let me check that out real quick. No, that's Mood Ring. Why are you giving me Mood Ring sales? I already got the Mood Ring sales. Anyways, we'll move on from that, you guys. We know what we're talking about here. So she drops the Mood Ring album. She has an increase in sales of about 35,000 units, right? Going from 72,000 to 113. She increases about 35,000 units. Now, the next album doesn't come out for 4 years. Liberation on Universal Motown. Very interesting. Universal Motown. It's like the label that everybody goes to once they've left their label or something. How many units does she get? Liberation. She's got Lock You Down and Riding. Now we're talking an album that drops 4 years later. For anybody that's just tapping in, you hear us talking about Maya, put some respect on Maya's name and watch that music video where she's on the swing. I'm definitely watching that after the stream. Come on, let me get the sales for Liberation here. Her 4th album, singles, release and promotion. Yeah, are we not going to get sales on this? Maya, Liberation. First week album sales. Let's just do it that way, I guess. And still, oh, whoa. Wow. All right, now we got to remember, you guys. Wow. This is cool. We got, all right, so this album Liberation came out in 2007. I was just reading something about the fact that she was in the Lady Marmalade track that also had Christina Aguilera, Little Kim, and Pink. So that's when Maya actually got her jump. Now, I just didn't say it because it looked like it said, yeah. So it says here, so in July 2003, Maya released her 3rd album, Mood Ring, her first full-length studio album since the release of her worldwide #1 hit, Lady Marmalade. Yeah, so they're giving me sales on this album again, which I don't know why. I'm not looking for those sales. I'm looking for the sales of Liberation. I'm not looking for the sales of Mood Ring. Whatever, man. We'll end it at there. We'll end it at that point. Actually, let me check out where the next album drops. Sugar and Spice 1 year later. Wow. How do you go from Universal Motown to Planet 9 like that? Kind of crazy. And this is the first album where she actually has no features. Let me check the feature list on this Liberation album. So she had Charlie Baltimore on I Am. She had Snoop Dogg on Walka, Not a Talka. Do you guys know that song? She had Lil Wayne on Lock You Down. Interesting. Pretty good feature list. Lil Wayne, Snoop Dogg. Let me see who else she had on Mood Ring before we just completely move on from Maya. It's hard to move on from Maya, but I guess we all did it in the 90s. Wow. You're kidding me. What year did this album come out? So Mood Ring came out in 2003, you guys. It came out June of 2003. This album came out in June of 2003. Mood Ring, right? And look who she has on it. Track number 3. Why You Gotta Look So Good, featuring Lloyd Banks. Are you kidding me? She had Lloyd Banks on her album. She had Guns on her album. Who I don't know who that is. Guns, Corey Guns. Come on, man. Why do you got him labeled like that? It's Corey Guns. Sean Paul on Things Come and Go. Wow. Real Compared to What? She had a US bonus edition with Common. Real Compared to What? That's interesting. Common and Maya. But that's crazy how she has Lloyd Banks on her album. You know, that's crazy how she has Lloyd Banks on her album. You know what I mean? It's nuts how she has Lloyd Banks on her album when we're talking months after Get Rich or Die Trying dropped. So Lloyd Banks really only had those singles from Get Rich or Die Trying, you know, the Don't Push Me joint, really. You know, it was Don't Push Me with 50, M, and Lloyd Banks. And he had all the G Unit mixtape, yet Maya's featuring him on her album. Very interesting there. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a Fabulous type of balance, though, in my mind, you know, because Fab was doing really good with them tracks with the ladies. But it's just a little bit odd that Maya had Banks on there. I guess 50 was just a little bit too big, you know what I mean, to actually be featured on her album after selling 1 million copies first week. 50 could not be on an album, as we've heard over and over and over now, that has sold 113,000 copies first week. Oh, another fact, Mood Ring, the third album, it was an Interscope album, and that's why Lloyd Banks could have been placed with it as well. I think Maya started her own label. What up with you, Twix? What up with you? Iceberg wants to do a worst rapper poll one day. We will definitely do a worst rapper poll one day. Yeah, man. Oh, Planet 9 is her label. Oh, okay. All right, so I got to see what label actually was aside of Planet 9, that means. Just for my own, you know what I mean? Just for my own knowledge. So the fourth album was Universal Motown after her trio of albums on Interscope. And then she had a label called Manhattan, I guess. And that was it's a branch of Capitol Music. All right. And then it's Planet 9 as well. So that's cool. Let me move on from here. Beauty in the Streets, Volume 1. Sorry, I missed out on that one. Young Empire Music Group. Okay. Let's see where Kiss released. Planet 9 in Manhattan once again. Let's see where With Love released. Only Planet 9. Smooth Jones. Only Planet 9. TKO. Only Planet 9. MGM in the Orchard. I think I've heard of the Orchard. Yep. Planet 9 was founded by Maya. That's pretty dope. It's pretty dope, man. That's why I appreciate everybody in the stream that taps in. Adds to the conversation. Yeah, me too, Alicia. I was thinking Peter Guns at first when I first read that, but then it said Corey Guns, and I'm like, oh. But you know, sometimes artists at earlier points in their career, they're actually labeled differently on albums. You know what I mean? Like Nicki Minaj at one point, I think maybe she got labeled as, you know, like I think her name before that was Nicki Mirage or something like that. Is that accurate? Iceberg's like, no, Mikey T. They never called Nicki Minaj Nicki Mirage. Oh shit, I still have some Kush left. All right, Nightman. Thank you, bro. Thank you for clarifying that shit, bro. Thank you for clarifying that shit. I was about to say, like, damn, Mikey T, you are off point, man. But damn, you guys, we've been almost going for 4 hours. You know what I mean? I was gonna, you know, we were gonna jump off of here a little minute ago, but the conversation was just going too well. The conversation was just going too well, so I didn't want to leave y'all. But everybody on here, make sure you're subscribed in the channel so you don't ever miss content on the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. You know what I'm saying? Hit the notification bell so you never miss a live video. You never know who's going to pop in on the stream. You know what I'm saying? You know the door is always open for anybody that wants to pop in on the stream. You never know if we're going to be popping one of these bottles. Could happen. You know what I'm saying? But what you do know that we're going to be talking about the best hip hop facts. We're going to be talking about the most current hip hop news. And we're going to be going over all the angles. surrounding it. You know what I mean? We don't just cover one aspect, we cover both sides, you guys. If there's 3 sides to a story, we cover 3 sides to the story. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get that on this channel. KD, appreciate you. Mundo, I appreciate you guys for all tapping in. And you know, I'll see y'all in the next live video, man. I will see y'all in the next live video, man. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.